my business anyway. Why would I know? Morning, guys. Morning, people. It is Tuesday, the 4th of July. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And let's get to know your host for today.
It's your boy, 6 foot plus of pure temptation. Big Moss from the east side of the bridge.
Skin is extra glowy on that side.
Is it?
Yeah.
The goddamn glucose.
You little tart. Oh dear, it is your favourite shade queen, my own royalty.
Sorry.
Is
And they call me you, man.
Go to this voice down.
Gosh. Sorry, man.
And they call me you, man. The pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst. And of course, the melanin is jam-packed.
Always. I thought you were going to say, I don't know why I thought your line was TDA jam-packed, but no, it's not. Happy 4th of July to the Americans.
And to the nation,
Of what?
the only nation that matters.
Wait. Oh, okay.
What happened?
What, Islam?
Yeah.
Well, what's their...
I was going to say, what? Now, why are they in it? What's it got to do with them?
Basically, it was the day that Master Fard Muhammad came to Detroit and basically started ministering to the people.
So is that what 4th of July is about? Or
Yeah. No, for the
You've
nation.
got
it is.
4th of
For the
July.
nation, it is. Yeah.
So they really try and have their own 4th of July. They not the 5th or the 6th. They
Nope.
a
really
subsection.
rude enough to try and have their day on the 4th of July.
Because it's more important.
Uh,
Independence Day for Americans wasn't independence for black people.
Do you know what's so mad, yeah? Like, right now, yeah, you've had a lot of privileges where you're able to speak about these things freely. A time is coming where you're going to be so cooked, yeah. There's going to be a whole bunch of people that are exposed, and they're not going to know that this started from inception. Do you get me? They're just going to think you're moving mad. And I feel like you're going to be the one. You're going to be the reason why we cross over to the American pod. It's crazy, man. But yeah, big up all the American listeners and watchers and stuff. Be extra loving today and leave us a good review. Okay, question of the day for you guys. Have you got a healthy balance of work and play/rest?
what's rest?
I said, what's rest, you know?
What would the answer be?
So yours is no. Yours is a no. It's a strong no.
What? Yeah, mine. I don't know what the order is,
But maybe it's play.
it's not a healthy balance. So
Do you have a healthy balance of work and play?
nah, I work too hard.
Fair.
I work way too hard, man. No,
Yeah.
I don't play enough.
Yeah, fair.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's a healthy balance.
Yeah, I don't have a healthy
It's
balance either.
skewed in some direction. Rest ain't even involved.
Yeah. So every free time you have, you just play.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, mine is not a healthy balance either. But whatever free time I have, I rest.
That's good, though.
Yeah, so I don't play. I don't play.
What do you consider your brunches and that?
That's true, but I haven't really been brunching that much.
That's true,
currently.
actually.
I really haven't.
You were brunching a lot more before, innit?
Yeah, I think the last one was a good brunch season. I haven't brunched in a while. I think my actual next brunch might be my birthday. That's crazy. That's in August. I haven't got much time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to spend the whole August brunching then. Catch up, make up for lost times. I think because I'm not drinking so much as well. I'm trying to. It's all that sugar and alcohol, so that's not good for me.
It's not good for the body.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I would say more rest. Like I try when I have free time, I have downtime. My zen moments. Yeah, man. Next summer though, you're brunching all over the towns. I'm painting the town red.
It's officially summer, isn't it?
It is.
Is it proper summer yet, though? Has kids broke up and thing? Or no?
No, yeah. They break up in like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, they break up like around the 19th, 20th of July.
Okay.
Yeah, so. I feel like one of the biggest things I still struggle to accept as an adult is I don't have a summer break. It's so weird to me.
No summer holidays.
No summer holidays. It's so weird. I know, uni I had like 3 months and stuff. Cause I was doing my exams in like May, June sometimes. But as an adult, you actually don't have that. It feels weird to me. Like my body has not adjusted to that.
Since.
No. I'm a babe of like convenience, of nice life and just chilled life. I don't like struggle. The other day my mum was like, oh, I'm ready to retire. I said, me too. She goes, what do you mean you too? I said, I'm actually ready. Like, how old am I? I want to have a nice life of just like, I don't think, the life I want for myself, people don't understand.
I think you should shed light.
You think? So I still want to work because I'm not like, I can't just depend on any man. But a rich man is involved.
Okay.
Right? But like, I want one of those lives where like, I come, I do TDA, then I leave here and then go and do Pilates.
Okay.
So in this life, the hard work I'm doing in the gym now has got my body just set. Right? My body, so I don't want to have kids. Set. I want the body to stay where it is, yeah, cool. Then I go and have Pilates. Then after Pilates, I don't know, I might have like some kind of beauty appointment. No, distress a little bit from the long day I've already had, TDA and Pilates. And then like, and just that. And then I get home, the chef has made whatever dishes. If I was craving, so I would have texted him already, or text her. Equal opportunities and all that kind of stuff. Right. And then, yeah, this is just, I just want calmness. And then like I would work, do whatever job it is I'm doing, whatever things I'm doing on the side. I can't say it because people have enemies and God is sovereign and all that. Yeah, I just want like a work doing what I'm enjoying, but also everything else that I enjoy doing factors into that. I don't want a life of stress. Anything that causes me stress, I don't want it.
I mean, that's good, man.
Because right now, my 24 hours are being used. And I don't like that. Like, I feel the 24 hours is taking its toll on my body. And I just don't like that. So I just want a very calm, easy life. But I've worked hard for it. And I'm still working for it. I'm working hard for it. Just, yeah.
You're going to get there.
Amen.
You're going to get there.
Amen. I think God has given me the vision for a reason. It's definitely going to happen. It's not a teaser.
It's funny you said it, yeah, because big up Tracy, yeah. She said, I stand with Esther, no kids.
Amen.
This is all linked to what we're going to talk about today.
It is linked, and you can't shame me, I tell you that. You can't shame me. But the kids thing is not absolute for me anymore. Like, I'm not like absolutely like, no. I'm just not dying for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Hey, makes sense.
Yeah. Do you think you got a healthy balance?
Nah, I don't think so. Yeah. It's a lot of work, a lot of hours for work and stuff.
It's crazy.
I don't understand.
Yeah, sorry. Anything that's not really T&B, I don't really consider it.
I'm not on. Unfortunately, contrary to popular belief, I'm not on. I don't visit the job centre. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely a busy guy.
Thank you,
You
man.
got time for T&B.
Yes, thank you very much.
Their laugh is too hearty.
What's them lone jokes?
It's like from the depth of his heart.
My bad. My apologies.
I mean, we all know the answer to this, but what's your balance, Brent?
I have a healthy balance.
No, you don't.
I definitely have a healthy balance. 100%. I choose how it is I spend my time. And I never look to want to be run down because that doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever.
That's true, actually.
So, what I can do, I do. And when it is I need to rest, 100% rest.
So I can't take
go to
seriously
the
in
gym
hat today. I just can't take seriously in the hat.
I go to the gym. Oh, I should have.
No, I like it, but I'm not used to the look yet.
When I was telling Esther, I'm gonna start wearing hats, but I'm gonna get it branded. You know, because I want to wear the new black everywhere I go. Yeah. So people ask me, "What do you do?" I'll just do that.
Just show them. What's killing me though is that he keeps getting more pieces of clothing, and we haven't had one.
No, I have to make sure.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, we know the drill.
You know, just the other day I gave Moses a couple. Because he came and
you gave Moses.
And it arrived, so I just gave it to him.
No offense, Moses. You gave Moses a couple.
He spent a whole 3 hours philosophizing with me and just talking about T&B. I mean,
so he had one.
He put me in a good place.
Wait.
Put me in a good place.
Wait a minute, that's great for you. He had one session with you talking about T&B for 3 hours.
Yeah, but we
are here.
We connect like we're lost brothers.
The forefronters of the flipping network.
Yeah.
For 3 hours plus every day. And you don't think we deserve t-shirts?
Wait, are you telling me I didn't give you anything yet?
No, you haven't. Don't gaslight me.
No,
Live on air?
Wait. I'm just trying to remember
No, you
who
haven't.
it was.
Remember you got them turtleneck looking ones?
Are you talking about this? Marks, is this a turtleneck?
Mm-mm.
That's what she called a turtleneck. And the thing is, they probably have an image in their head. Nothing like this.
It's just the neck is so high.
Is it really?
It's so high.
Is it really? It's clean. Absolutely clean. Anyway, that's why I'm not giving you any.
Oh, sorry. Back to your balance.
This is the turtleneck, you know.
Yes,
Brett.
I have a healthy balance and
do.
make sure and hit the gym. I eat good.
You rest.
Yeah. The only time when it is that my rest gets ridiculous is if it is that I'm doing or looking to implement something new that I haven't done before or have introduced to my routine. And then once I've gotten the hang of it, then the schedule goes back to normal. But yeah, man.
Okay. That's good. So 1 out of 4 in the room. Do you guys plan on sorting that balance out, or do you not think this is the time? Don't give me. Also, sorry, no one give me that whole "I'll rest when I'm dead" thing. I hate that saying.
I don't get tired.
All right. Okay. Okay.
That's my favorite saying, though.
You don't get tired.
No, like I rest when I'm dead, man.
I hate when people say that. You know.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just like, you wouldn't know you're dead. Do you mean like
But
you're gonna be dead?
Will you be in heaven and all that?
You're resting up there,
Why?
singing God's praises. Oh, I'm so tired today. I can't. Okay. So, what's your plan, Z-Man? Are you trying to get balance or?
Yeah, of course, man. I'm trying to, do all of that stuff. Be balanced and that.
But, I don't believe you. You don't even believe yourself. I'm not trying to be balanced at all. All right.
You can't go no more, man.
With what?
I said, just go till you can't go no more, man.
This is it, man.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that. That is not healthy, please. This is not medical advice or advice you should necessarily follow. I don't subscribe. I told you anyway the other day. I tap out when I need to tap out. When I need a moment, guess what? I'm gonna have my moment. So that's how I'm creating my healthy balance. But yeah. All right. Well, let's get into our headlines.
Let's do it. Okay, so the first headline, and this is from The Guardian. So The Guardian has learned that more graduate teachers would be parachuted into nurseries under plans being considered by Labour to improve education for the under fours. So there could also be more nursery places in primary school settings as the opposition works at proposals to drive up standards and formally integrate early years into the English education system. Experts have long argued that nurseries should employ degree-level early year teachers alongside other staff to help toddlers develop skills, including speech and language, before they even start primary school. Currently, however, nurseries are struggling to recruit and retain staff who can receive higher wages in retail jobs, forcing some childcare settings to close. The Shadow Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson, said she wanted to put early years on an equal footing with schools to give the children the best start in life in a way that could not be reversed by the future Conservative governments, which has, as she says, chipped away at Shaw's start. In the interview with The Guardian, she says, "We know that so much is determined for children early on and that you can make the biggest impact in the early years. Yet the system we've got right now deprioritizes so much of what's going on in our early years settings. We need to raise the standard in the sector, make it part of the education system so that it's regarded with the same parity as our schools. What you achieve in the early years makes such a big difference." Second headline. This is a continuation of what you guys mentioned yesterday. And this is basically it. Pope Francis has come out and condemned last week's Quran burning in Sweden, saying he felt angry and disgusted to see the Muslim holy book desecrated. In an interview published on Monday in the United Arab Emirates newspaper, Al-Ittihad, the Pope said, "Any book considered holy should be respected to respect those who believe in it. I feel angry and disgusted at these actions." On Wednesday, when many Muslims were celebrating Eid, a man in Stockholm tore up and burned the Quran outside the mosque, drawing widespread condemnation, including from the governments of Turkey and Saudi Arabia. On Sunday, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the OIC, which is a group of 57 states, said collective measures are needed and international law should be used to stop religious hatred. The OIC said in a statement, "We must send constant reminders to the international community regarding the urgent application of international law, which clearly prohibits any advocacy of religious hatred." And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into our What You Saying topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, yeah. Esther, do you think I need to do a trigger warning?
No, just give it to them. Just give it to them.
All right, cool. Well, I need to big up somebody on Instagram called Rangu, who I chat to every now and again. He basically recommended this documentary to me. Yeah, so big him up every time. It's called The Birth Gap documentary. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. If you haven't, I think you should watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Yes, I think you like it. I think everyone in here should watch it, actually.
What's it called?
The Birth Gap.
This is your first recommendation. This is what you're going
We're
for.
putting on the table.
It's not a film recommendation. This is different.
Just now, I'm just saying.
Like, anything we can watch, it's going on the table.
Yeah.
It's going on the table.
You know what?
You're going to live or die with this one.
You know what? I put it on the table.
Okay.
All right, cool.
But it's a documentary. Remember?
It don't matter. It's something we're watching.
You have to watch it like a documentary.
We shall rate it.
But it's very informative, isn't it? But before we get into it, yeah, and get to some facts and stuff, yeah, I want to ask you guys: do you feel like the population of the planet is increasing or decreasing?
One would assume it's just increasing, isn't it?
Single-handedly
kind of.
populating the earth.
This is pre-COVID.
Oh,
Huh? It's a great question, yeah.
yeah, it makes a difference.
Did more people die from COVID than usually die?
From
Life in general.
Just life,
Because
isn't it?
they always say, they throw that stats about like 10,000 people die every year from a flu, right? How many people die from COVID? In this country anyway?
I
Was
think,
it
more
millions?
people, I think more people died from flu or something, isn't it? No?
what, as in before COVID?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, you know. I don't know.
I mean, that was
I
all
can't
mixed.
remember what they done
flu,
with them numbers,
COVID.
but I heard the people saying that they was
died
cooking the
from
books.
Let me
and
Google it.
stuff
How many
like
people actually died from COVID? Because it wasn't like in the 50,000s, was it? Let's find out.
that. What, just in this country?
Yeah, just in this country. COVID
don't know,
UK. Let's see.
It would have been hundreds of thousands, isn't it? Or not?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, see, the ONS here, I try to root for them sometimes. It's just stupid. Tomorrow there was 619 deaths involving COVID.
What?
Oh, in the latest week. Oh, this was,
Last week.
Well, damn, this was the week ending 17th of March. My bad. Okay, we're definitely thousands then.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay, so the COVID cases was 24,618,436. And the deaths was 226,278.
They beat up flu.
Yeah, definitely the flu. Okay, well, sorry about that.
It's a damn shame. But yes.
Okay, so
What do you guys think? Okay, you know what?
I think it's increasing, you know.
Okay, cool. It may seem like a silly question because obviously with time we've just seen that there's just more people on the earth, innit?
Yeah.
But do you feel like have you heard people talking about at some point the population will kind of crash?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is basically what we're going to get into today. But a question that I basically asked, right? This is the topic of the day, yeah. And we're going to obviously get to the bottom of this at the very end of the topic, right? Is do you feel like people are having less kids, or do you feel like less people are becoming parents?
I think people are having less kids because people are waiting later.
Okay.
So, yeah, they would have less kids.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people are having kids later. So in turn, there's less kids.
Okay. Mark, what do you think?
I don't know. I think there's less kids or what? What's the option?
So, yeah, it's basically, are people having less kids
You should text each other.
or are less people becoming parents?
Isn't that the same
How's
thing?
that different?
It's different. It'll make sense at the end.
Are people having less? It sounds like a parable. Are people having less kids or are less people becoming parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, good one, you got me.
Actually, the parents is that parent because it's one of those like parents is a two household situation. Maybe.
All right, put it this way.
It's one of those catch you out moments.
Not really. What's this here? There's 4 of us in the room now. Let's just say there's 10 kids in here. All our kids joined together is 10. There's 10 kids,
Yeah.
right? Cool. It could be a situation where all those kids belong to just the 2 of you. So that
Silly.
means
You belong to two.
that will mean 5 each, right?
Okay, yeah.
And that would mean 50% of us having kids.
Yeah.
But it could be a situation where it's like all of us had those kids.
Yeah.
So that means there's more parents. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but then I could have one.
Exactly.
And then you have like 8.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I basically, is the population basically of the world still having kids, but just less of them? Or do you feel like some people just decided not to have kids, or they're just not having kids for whatever reason, and that means there's less of the population actually becoming parents, if that makes sense? Mark's still thinking about it.
Huh?
You still thinking about it?
I feel stupid this morning.
No, it's not you.
Huh?
It's not you.
No, I'm still trying to work out that whole when you said if we had the 10 kids and that's 50%.
No, because you know what it is? Because I agreed
then you
to it,
had-
and I realised it didn't make sense after I agreed to it, but I just thought, I can't wait to go back. Because I would still be a parent. If I had one kid and you had 8, I'm still a parent.
Yeah. Yeah, but it could be a thing where it's like, okay, cool. Let's just say the generation before, all of us in the room would have had 4 kids each. Let's just say, right? But in today's day and age, all 4 of us have decided to have 2 kids.
Yeah.
So that means we're all having less kids.
Yeah.
Or it could be a situation where 2 of you don't have kids, and me and Margs have 4 kids each.
Yeah.
So that means there's less parents.
Oh, so you're
Okay.
saying people with kids are having less... What you asked me is, are people having less kids? So like the family are growing smaller.
Yeah.
So like instead of
Exactly.
like 4 or 5 kids, it's 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Or are people just not having kids?
Exactly.
Okay. Why do you say that
Why
in the
you say
first
that?
place,
That's the
bro?
same thing.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
So it's the same thing. You know? When you listen, anyway.
I'm sitting there thinking, what's man talking about? I don't know what's going on. All right.
We're gonna get to the answer, but I want to see what you guys think.
You know what though? For real though, the families are smaller nowadays. I think they are smaller. I think you had bigger families back in the day. Like I've got friends with like big families and long siblings back in the day, and I don't see like my friends now as adults going that same route, like having huge families. If that makes sense. By the time their parents was kind of like their age, they would have had more kids than them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're having less kids in the family homes.
Yes,
Or
actually, yeah.
Have you got some type of rhetoric to prove opposite?
Well, we're gonna go into it. Basically, there's something called the population tipping point, right? And this is basically an act where there's an average of 2 surviving children per woman, right?
Okay.
2 surviving. So that means every woman is pretty much having an average of 2 kids,
yeah.
right? That's the population tipping point. So at that point, that's when you're gonna get that. I guess it tips where you're gonna get with time more elderly people than there is newborns to kind of replace and keep that number constant, if that makes sense. So at some point, the rate of increase will just start declining, and then it will just tip, and then there'll just be population decrease, right? This is the facts, according to the documentary. 70% of us live in countries below that tipping point. 70%. All the industrialized countries in the world, without exception, all of them, right, have below replacement fertility. So all these countries in the West, right, are all, industrialized countries, are basically all at a point where they don't have enough children being born to replace the amount of elders that we've got.
Oh, is it?
Yes. What do you guys think about that?
That's all right.
It's all right.
That's what they want anyway, because when all the old people died, and there's going to be a drop in the population.
But is that a good thing, though?
Huh?
What about when we get old?
Well, what's the effects of it?
So the effects could be that basically that there'll be less of the younger generation to support the elderly. So when it comes to tax paying and them getting their pension and things of that nature, you're going to have to increase the taxes on the younger lot because there's less of them to foot the bill for the older lot.
That sounds like a young people problem.
I always think that, you know, that that's the next generation problem, right?
Yeah.
I've had enough problems of my own, trying to figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Okay.
That'll be all right.
Businesses will suffer. There are less people to buy, less people to hire.
Old people got more money though.
That might be now. You know what I'm saying? But when things start changing and people are still maybe not finding their foot in or this, that, and the third, right? I remember, I guess some of the old people don't necessarily buy as much stuff, innit? So they're able to save the money and whatnot, and obviously retire and stuff like this, right? And get a good pension. That will change with time. That will change.
So what are you saying? There's not going to be enough kids to look after the older generation.
Yeah.
But what about the middle?
I mean, yeah, I mean, they'll kind of still be there. But remember, they're soon going to be
Older
the elderly as well. So you're going to get a point where it's like there's just more elderly people than there is newborns. It's just going to be top heavy.
So is the population increasing or decreasing?
So overall, the population is still increasing. You know what I'm saying? But apparently what they're saying is it may get to about 10 billion and then we're going to get a crash. You know what I mean? And that crash may be due to different things, but they're saying it's likely going to happen.
How close are we to the crash at the moment?
At the moment, I think there's like 8 billion of us in the world.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
And people keep having babies, boy.
Mm-hmm. Well, in some countries.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think, I don't think it's a problem for like everybody.
No?
It's like a Western problem.
Uh-huh.
I like kids in Africa.
I'm glad you said that. See, I remember listening to certain people say this, right? And obviously these people get called pro-black conspiracy theorists and Hotep people and all this type of stuff because they were talking about basically the population will eventually turn from white to brown, majority, as in the white population, I should say, to brown, eventually to black. You know what I'm saying? Because the black man is typically more fertile. You know what I'm saying? We produce kids and this, that, and third. Plus, circumstances in life is seeing it in such a way where majority of the people in the West prioritize other things. And as we're seeing here, we're just producing less kids. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, again, obviously this is the next step to that conspiracy. This is why they put certain things in place to kind of kill us off, innit? You know what I mean? So that balance.
Oh, back home.
Yeah, and even in the West. You know what I mean? Wherever
What you say to get the balance back.
The balance right, yeah.
But that whole theory about everybody turning like beige, basically. That's not actually really true, though, is it?
To beige.
No, well, it will kind of transition. It will transition into brown, then into black.
It wouldn't though, because people are still having kids within their own race, isn't it?
That is just
Not alarming rates, at high rates, isn't it?
Which people though?
Everybody, black people, white people, like are still sleeping within their own race, innit? And say like even in countries where white people are majority, there would be more of them sleeping or having partners within their own race than interracially dating. So the rate of white kids being born is going to be higher than the rate of mixed race kids being born. Anyway, the gap's never gonna close.
You say that. I'll give you an example now.
Oh God.
In that same documentary, I believe it was a Swedish Norway Prime Minister, a woman, right? And she basically, I think this is in 2019. She literally, same way Boris Johnson and Biden come out and talk to the people, the nation, she came out and said, guys, we're not having enough kids. We need to have more kids. If women are not having 2 or more kids, the population of Norway is going to start to decline. We'll be done out here. This is what she said.
But then, do you know what? Did she have any kids?
I'm not too sure.
Stupid woman. But do you know what it is,
She might have done, help out.
It's all well and good for you to be the first minister, but she never woman
She was kind of, she's like 50-ish.
She could pop up. She could try. For the generation, she could try. Do you know what it is here? I think if there's incentives to having kids,
Okay.
more women would want to have kids. But remember, again, I've had this conversation where I've said that women are raised to desire family and create a family and whatever, but men aren't raised with the same desire. So you have a bunch of women who want to settle down and want to have kids and stuff, but there's no sperm available to do these things with.
I'm glad you said that, because that is exactly the case in Thailand, Japan, them type of places there, where, again, on the same documentary, this woman was literally crying. So she because she got divorced.
Oh, okay.
And because obviously the husband was like, I don't want to have kids. I don't know how they found out after the marriage, but anyway, they found
Maybe
out.
I should be talking about that in talking stage.
Yeah, maybe she did. I don't know what she thought. But anyway, she was crying, talking about how she obviously had to start over, this, that, and the third, and how her husband didn't want kids. Another one was talking about, oh, my husband don't want no kids as well. He's a good guy, bigging him up and everything, great guy, but he just doesn't want kids. He doesn't want to give up his life of everything else apart from kids. And this is crazy in that population, because Japan, I'm going to tell you the figures, 38%, they're 38% below the population tipping point.
Really?
38%. So there's only 1.3 children per woman in Japan. They are on the brink of...
Sounds so attractive to me.
What are you saying there? So what's happening with their population?
So basically there's not enough children being born. There's not enough children being born. That the tipping point is 2. You need to have an average of 2 surviving kids per woman.
Well, everywhere the tipping point is 2.
Yeah.
And they're on 1.3.
They're on 1.3. Also, another thing of what you mentioned about, white countries and stuff. Italy is in that same boat. They're struggling. Italy's talking about we need more kids.
Really?
Yeah.
So people need to just go and have more sex then, no?
Yes, they do. Do you feel like it could be a situation where because contraception was introduced, this is maybe causing the issue?
There could be that as well. I think there's so many factors to it.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be one of them. But again, that still comes down to... Actually, no, that will be definitely one of them. Because then otherwise, if you're very fertile, gosh, it's a long day for you in the bedroom. Yeah, that would definitely be one of them.
Who was I talking to the other day? It's talking about the most fertile woman in the world. I think she was an African. I think she was Nigerian. I'm not too sure.
Is it?
Like 48 kids.
48?
48 kids. Her husband left her, I think, at 47.
What are they? With 47th kid?
Yeah.
How old is she?
Oh, full of shit. Sorry? 47
She
kids,
like,
you
she might
planted
be
me.
50 at that point, or maybe 40 something by that point.
Can't be.
So I'm saying she must have triplets, quadruples, all of them.
Yeah, the maths ain't mathing. She can't be.
And he left her at the 47th kid.
Apparently. Maybe they're just having problems. They'll be back.
Better be back.
How many
Who's
babies?
gonna matter? Who's gonna be
How many
back?
babies can you have a year? 1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but then sometimes
she's
you can
having-
have different tubes.
Huh?
It's like a whole scientific thing.
Serious?
Yeah. Because there's a woman on, oh my gosh, there's a woman on TikTok. It was so funny, yeah. She's just had a kid, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went to doctor's appointment. They're like, you're pregnant. She's like, no, I'm not. They're like, yeah, you are. They're like, she's like, no, I'm not. She said, I can't be. And doctor was like, no, the baby's right here. She was like, I can't be. But it's something to do with like your tube.
So they're developing separate times?
Yeah, but she basically got, no, because she got pregnant like soon after she had
Okay.
the first kid kind of thing.
Okay,
But like the baby
cool.
was still like a few months old kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. It's weird.
It
But then
happens.
sometimes, well, even like with like, yeah, I don't know. Is that the woman?
Yeah.
Oh,
She looks good
thank
though.
you.
Yeah.
What country you from?
Uganda.
Okay, that's it. How many kids?
got
47 kids.
38.
44. Okay, so I got it.
Has given
44
birth to
kids.
38 children. What do you see?
44, 48.
You know what I mean?
No,
It's
44 children.
What does that even mean? How do
Why
you
did
know
you
the
say she's got a
names?
38 child family?
She's 38.
Years old.
Brent,
38.
She can't be
can I
38
not
years
read?
old.
Woman most fertile who had 44 children by 36 stopped from having more babies. I don't know if you can't read or not. I haven't got a clue.
No, I'm saying, why is the other stuff saying 38 child family? So why did it say that?
She can't be 38 years old.
That's crazy.
Because
Is that saying two what?
She's 39.
that's
Has
dark.
given birth to 38
This
children.
is, my friend, this is the headline. Yeah?
My friend.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
I'm not.
the thing.
Is that two different women or something then?
Maybe it's a different picture. The picture that they're showing.
Okay.
When they took the picture, it was she had 38, but she's
All right,
upgraded since then.
okay.
Maybe the guy left her
She's upgraded.
because the 48th was by a different guy. He's like, I've been here for all this time and you don't do this? Maybe that's why.
I'm sorry, yeah, but if your wife has 37 kids for you and you find out the number 35 is not yours, you confirm that. You confirm that.
Yeah?
The stats are high.
Look at these cute little children. Look at the one in the front. This guy.
No, I can't. Sorry, that's wild, man.
Telling you.
I mean, she's basically been
Oh,
pregnant every
bless
day
them.
of her life.
Every day of her life.
Yeah.
She's just constantly pregnant.
It's this, black people, man.
Damn, man. That's, I don't know, man.
But let's kind of look at the crux of this, yeah. Because obviously, like based on the stats and everything, we're seeing there's a problem, right? Like I said, it means long-term effects. There'll be potentially more taxes for the younger lot to pay. There'll be stagnation in the economy, poorer pensions in place. There'll be less schools, less businesses, things of that nature, right? But they were talking to some women in the West. Obviously, a lot of them were American, white women, and a couple of black women as well. And they said they pretty much were choosing their careers over having families.
Yeah.
One black woman basically said, sometimes I think to myself, I don't want to miss my baby's first steps. In my mind, I thought, okay, that means I want to have a baby and be at home. And no, to her, it meant that means I wanted to get to where I want to get to in life, in my career.
Yeah.
Then I can take the time out to go home.
That sounds like a good plan, though.
But then you don't have no kids.
No, you could.
But this is the issue. This is what
do you know what I think Sam should do? Yeah, because I feel like women are having like this is unfortunate. This is a reality. I mean, I don't know who's unfortunate for, but I let that whoever is unfortunate for, I let that carry that cross. But I feel like science, in all of their advancements and stuff, should now start figuring ways of how women can actually have kids later, and how they can help women have kids later. Like I get biology and stuff like that, but I feel like we have this conversation about women's eggs. But the facts of the matter is that a lot of women have to do their career because unfortunately society doesn't give women the grace enough to be mothers and be a career women who are successful and whatever. There's still that culture of you got to pick one. So unless you want to change society where you let women know that, you know what, you can have children and you can have a blossoming career without feeling like, you're going to be fired or feeling like when you come back, everyone else is going to be 10 times ahead of you. Unless you want to do that, start thinking up in the labs of what it is that you can do to help that then. Because unfortunately, for me, if I don't want to miss my kids' vital moments, I would rather work hard right now, put in all the work I can, and then be rich and have all the tools, whatever it is I need, so that I won't miss that. Because really, if I take time out to miss this child to be there for the kids' first steps, if I want to have multiple kids, that's hella first steps, and that's hella career. I'm missing so much career-wise. So really and truly, it's about, because really and truly, I think for me, my way of thinking is the kids are not here yet. I can't make sacrifices for something that's not even happened yet. When I am here, like I am currently here living, and if having a successful career makes me happy, I can't not do that for a kid that doesn't even exist yet.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 100%.
So I feel like what needs to happen now is that this is the facts. The tipping point, all that stuff is being tipped. This is the facts. So what society needs to do now is start making accommodation for women to be able to chase their careers and also be able to have a good, healthy balance in the life at home and at work. Because a lot of mothers now, they look for like working from home jobs and stuff like that. But those are like, they're not as common as one would think they are. Do you get what I mean? So that's what the people need to do. Or then y'all put your smart heads together and see what you can come up with in the labs. We're not going to have that incubator thing. We're going to have your baby, put your baby's egg and whatever.
That was a joke.
Oh, that was a joke?
Yeah, remember, it was a joke. It was a joke. Yeah, somebody made it up.
I've heard other conversations about it. Are you sure you need to check up on that again?
Unless there's some further developments, maybe.
There might be. I've heard other people talk about it.
Maybe.
But yeah.
But based on what you said, though, Esther, the question I have here is, do you feel like we're kind of going against God's work then? Because at the end of the day, nature is nature for a reason. It's been this way for, depending on what you believe, 6,000 years or billions of years.
Yeah.
Right? Are we not trying as human beings to kind of undo God's work, the way he planned certain things? Because at the end of the day, yes, you can choose to have your career, and I don't think you should be penalized for it, but you should understand the consequence of it.
Yeah.
You know, in the same way, a man may choose his career, get to 45, and understand when he's 45, he's going to have a kid who's just a newborn.
Yeah.
You can't play football with him. None of them type of things. It's just a consequence of that particular decision. Isn't that the case for women?
Do you know
we just realize what it is and face the facts?
Do you know what it is though? God, we don't live according to what God wanted for us. So, yes, the entire world at present is not doing anything that God got them to do. Okay. God's plan for the family was a man and one wife. Right? A man and a wife. Loves his wife, takes care of his wife. She honors her husband. He honors her, treats her well, whatever it is. He goes out to work. He's making enough for the family. In this day and age, it's anomalies that you can actually like live comfortably where the man is the only breadwinner. It's not realistic. Do you get me? So unfortunately, we've strayed very far away from God's plan. So we just have to accommodate for how we're living now.
I know. Obviously, I don't want to speak for a potential minority. I don't know the figures here, right? But I think Vaughn's kind of making it. I think it's the point he's making anyway. But there are women out there who progress in careers and they've got kids.
Yeah.
Why is it almost like the narrative is that I have to choose either or?
Because that's the reality. The women who are not the women who are because again they're an anomaly though, so we can't have a whole argument based off anomalies, but also ask their children how life is for them.
That's not fair to.
They're not present. They are though. A woman who can have a full, like a proper career where she's at the top of. I'm not talking about a media little team leader. I'm talking about like at the Not meaty, but you get me.
Yeah.
She's I think he's using next to me. But like I'm talking about like a full-blown career, very successful woman, and she's an active present parent. They're anomalies. Because again, when women go on maternity leave, everything moves on around you. When you come back, you then have to carry on from where you stopped. In that time, other people have like been training and been doing this. They've progressed. The business needs have progressed. So people have moved, have had promotions. Even women there's been studies about women not getting promotions because it's like, yeah, but you might want to have a kid at some point. So we can't afford that.
Yeah.
There's women have to hide their pregnancies at work because it's like, there's a promotion coming up. I'm up for promotion, but I can't let them know I'm pregnant. So we can't say that, we can't base an argument off those women because the reality for most women is that they're held back because of they're going to be mothers and stuff.
Okay, we got a call. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Yes, my people then.
Jeez.
Who's
I know
Is it Kevin?
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
Jeez.
go on. Yes, Kevin. Oh, go on.
A long time,
I ain't
man.
never sounded like this.
What you saying, man?
Yeah, it's been a minute still, you know. I thought I'd call in today, you know. I had to answer the bat signal on that. Come give some truth.
Not proof, child. Okay. Let's
Yeah.
have it.
Talk to the people, man.
So what you said earlier as well, you man, that pod thing, that is true. That's true for the next like 10, 15 years. They're talking about them pod babies being able to be born. But that won't be a good thing because you're gonna get like superior humans and eventually working out that they're superior, because once they start taking out the bad things in genetics, it's going to be like the superhumans over there and then us over here.
Yeah.
That won't work out for us over the long term. Once they realize, these are the ones with the defects, I don't think we need them no more.
Yeah.
That's how we become enslaved and shit.
That's true.
But Esther, what you're talking about as well with the career thing, it's unfortunate, but facts is facts. Most women are not at the top of any industry. The richest woman in the world is rich because she married the richest man. She's not rich because she was driven in her career and tried to make money. Like I think that's not Elon Musk's wife. What's the other dude?
Oh, Amazon, Jeff Bezos.
Bezos.
Yeah, Bezos' wife. She's the richest woman in the world, right? She's only rich because she had babies for Jeff Bezos and married Jeff. Most women don't get that type of satisfaction from their career. You lot are designed to be social creatures, so you need to have babies. If you don't have them, what the research shows, and there's research all over the place for this, that the most unhappy population group is women who are 40 plus and childless.
Wow.
Because at a certain point, go ahead, look it up. You can do your Googles on that, you'll see it. They're the group addicted to alcohol the most and antidepressants the most, because at some point or another, the party stops. You know what I'm saying? All the rest of your friends have got kids, but you're tired now. We know this already. We're all pretty relatively young still, but you can't party now like you did at 22. You get knackered, like as a woman especially. By the time you hit 30, that being in that club every night ain't the same fun no more. It's not as fun as it was 10 years ago or anything else like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but the difference is that as men, we won't suffer in the same way because we'll just get younger women. You know, like your clock has, as I always say in the chat, that biological clock is tick-tocking. Huh?
Yeah, it's true. But saying that though, Kevin, yeah, if men just decide to get younger women, what if those younger women have the same aspirations of the women that the men kind of looked past and say, you know what, I want to have a career and things of that nature? Couldn't the problem just continue?
You're gonna get both sides of that, right? So right now you have a generation of women who looked at their mothers and they're like, I don't want to do what you did. You didn't get to push, or you didn't have the power in the relationship. And then they're gonna get a whole new generation of these younger girls who are looking at these girls who are like, you're 40 and no children and alone and still not married. You'll get the reverse thing coming.
Do you know I don't that statistics about the women who are loneliest or whatever the stats was, yeah? Because you know what it is, when you condition people to believe that this is their purpose in life and this is what they should be doing, of course, when they grow older and they haven't done that which you've told them is why they exist, of course they're going to be depressed and turn to alcohol and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of women who are older who have done work on themselves to think about why, because that's what I did. That's the work I did on why do I want to have kids, outside of the fact that I've been told I should have kids. So now my attitude towards having kids has changed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not dying for it. If it happens, of course I'm going to be a great mother. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to live a less fulfilled life. I'm not going to feel lonely. I'm not going to feel any of that because I've dealt with why it is I want to have kids. So my thing is, I've seen a lot of women who are older who don't have children. I cannot stress to you how genuinely like fulfilled and happy these women are. And it's not even a case of like, because again, they've done the work to realize that, do you know what, this was something that was told to me that I should want. I don't believe that every single woman in this world was created to have kids. There are women who biologically cannot have kids. But that's the issue though. When you've been told, when society's told you and conditioned you and raised you to believe that this is why you've been born as a woman, you're here to have kids. Some women who can't have kids are very much depressed because it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm a useless woman then. And there's women who can't have kids, but because they know that their existence is beyond procreating, they're fine with it. So those stats, obviously, I don't know what they are. I haven't looked into them or anything like that. But I don't think they're taken. For me, hearing what those stats are, it's the statistics of women who've been conditioned to believe that their entire existence, their purpose for life is to procreate. I don't think it takes into account women who actually done work on themselves and actually figured out whether or not they really want to have kids and have actually decided, you know what, I don't want to have kids. Because there's women, again, who are in beautiful marriages and whatever else, and they're like, I don't want to have children. And the partner's like, yeah, I don't want to have children as well. And they go on to have beautiful, flourishing marriages.
Could one argue that that's the anomaly, though? Of women that that age and say, you know what, I found peace with this. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know, I think it's an anomaly now because not many women are able to openly say that they don't want to have children. I know how long it's like. I've had the thoughts about not wanting to have children for years, and it was never something I vocalized until last year. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like it feels like the anomaly because, again, it's not something that's spoken about very often. That's why I feel like the anomaly.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's actually the anomaly. It's the anomaly. The only reason why is because most women, like, if you really check it, that's our general purpose in life is what we're born to do. You're born with all the tools that you needed to be born with. A career doesn't last forever. You hit 60 and they give you the watch and then you go home. Like most jobs ain't even careers. They're just jobs. Like, you couldn't do it eternally. You could only do it for a period of time, and they will fire you. So trying to find satisfaction in a job is never going to be enough. Like, because after a certain amount of money, I think it's about 70,000. The research says about 70,000. That the quality of life really doesn't change that much. There's only so many things you can buy.
But you know what is? I
You know
think
what I'm saying? There's only so many boats you need.
When you talk about women who are chasing careers and stuff like that, yeah, like, career is not the sole reason why. It's the quality of life. Like, having a good career means that you get to have a better quality of life. So their entire existence is not revolving around their career. So it's not a thing where, like, when they retire now, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with my time? No, I've got a great quality of life. I'm traveling. There's so many things that bring me fun. Because you mentioned earlier about women who, like, women can't go to the clubs past 30. Baby, I'm 20, in my 20s, I'm not even clubbing. Women are not clubbing no more because, again, we're brunching. We're going on girls' trips. We're going to what's it called, Broadway. Like, we're doing so many things. We're picking up hobbies and interests and stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? So there's so many things that women are doing where it's like the career is a means. See how it's like a means to an end working. Career, chasing a good career allows you to then, like, have a better quality of life when you're older. And that's what it is with the women. So it's not a case where, like, you know, they're going to retire and now they're going to feel very unfulfilled in life and whatnot. No, because, again, their fulfillment comes from deeper than that. It comes from beyond children. It comes from beyond career. It comes from beyond marriages and stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? But
and at the brunch, you're sipping on alcohol. At the brunch, you're sipping on the same alcohol that you end
not
up depending on
baby,
because you don't have TV.
Mocktails.
Kevin, can I ask you a quick question? Yeah. Tariq posed this question. Why do you equate the lack of people having kids to it being a woman issue? Like, for example, Tariq himself, he's got one kid, and no one's asked him if he wants more kids.
Because women are the ones who control sex. We don't control sex. They are the ones who are in control of contraception in that manner. Most men will just put it in when they get the chance. Let's be real.
Nah, because you talked about Japan though.
What it is.
And you talked about in Japan at the moment, the men are the ones who don't want to have kids, and the women are having to divorce their husbands because they don't want to have kids. So it's true. Nah, I think y'all this is how y'all end up in jail talking about you don't have control over sex. You guys have gang.
We don't have control over sex.
Okay. We don't. Women control access to sex.
Women have sex when they want. That's
women have sex when they want.
Only men who have sex when they want, they are outliers. They are anomalies. They're extremely successful leaders in their industries, got a lot of money, so their lifestyle's different to the average man, or they use nefarious tactics and take it, and they should be taken off the streets. They're the only men that you can talk about. If we're gonna talk and have a conversation and have a transaction, you have to be on it for me to have sex.
So what you're saying is that men need to get their money up, not their funny.
Yep.
Facts.
Y'all need to be, because if you're all powerful, then you guys can choose when it is that you want to have sex, don't you? But I hear you though.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, my people. Have a great one. As always, keep up the works, yeah?
All right.
Take care.
All right, love.
Kevin should type how he speaks.
That went better than I
said. Very good.
Kevin's a wholesome guy, man.
Okay.
Kevin? He just misunderstood, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's false too. I just think he should type how he speaks. He's very he's very well spoken and just relaxed and chilled. Anyways.
Bezos' wife is not the richest woman in the world.
Is she not?
Now put the poll up. The stats up.
Look.
They're still on top of the industry, though.
Look how many are there before it even reaches.
Yeah, but the number one wouldn't even make top 10 in the men.
Also, people discredit Sis though. She's invested in his business and she got what was due to her. That's what we will say. She didn't just lay on her back and just get money for doing nothing.
Hi guys.
Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Hi. I would say my name is Kwame's auntie. Basically, I want to come at it at a different angle, and that angle is, as women, forget the career because you guys don't want to accept that we have to make that choice. Generally, as a woman, when you have children, it's difficult because you are solely responsible for that child. I have friends who are married and they have partners, but when I look at them, they're single parents. So there isn't that element of my partner's going to come in every day, 7 o'clock, to make sure he gives them a bath. And like, men don't seem to have that side to them. And that's why a lot of women are like, well, if I'm doing this, I'm basically going to be doing it on my own without saying I'm doing it on my own. But if I ask you to stay behind, look after this child, you're probably going to be like, yeah, sure. But every 5 minutes you're texting me to say, where's this? Where's that? What do I do? So that's another aspect where a lot of women have come to realize that, do I really need this? And then another angle is when I look at why I don't want to have children, it's only because I grew up in a single parent household and I went and did work on myself to discover lots of things. And as much as I thought maybe my dad was the problem, I came to realize my mum is the problem. A lot of the things that the way I've turned out, etc.
Tuesday morning.
It's all love, it's growth. But you come to realize that unfortunately, due to the way that she was, there are these traits that I picked up, there are these concepts that I have. And I think to myself, do I want to be able to kind of put that on another little human being? We love children. They're amazing. All of you who want to pop them, go for it. At the same time, we're at that generation where, yes, Kevin says the stats are saying women depressed, 40 plus, etc. But no, at 40 plus, we want to this is I hate this term, but the rich auntie phase. We really love that peaceful life. I can fly out when I want to. I don't have to be worried about summer holidays because this one has got to be off. And no, I go when I want. I come back when I want. I'm not partying, but I've got peace. I can do what I want. If I want a toy boy, I'm getting a toy boy. Nobody can say anything. It is what it is.
And you...
Oh dear.
And you have obviously, did you say oh dear?
Yeah, I hate when Brent does that.
That is
I
your
hate it.
And you pretty much kind of looked ahead, seen kind of calculated your future, right? And feel at least that you won't feel like there's a void in your life if you have no children.
No, I'm completely fine. My mum always is. She says it. She's like, Tracy, think about these things. Like, it doesn't make sense. But then I have nephews. I have, my friends, other children that I can look after. It's not the same. I know people say it's not the same, and you're built for this, and but I love that, because I can take them for a week and give them away, and there's a sense of peace. When I look at my nephews, there's a sense of peace for them because they have a different relationship with me than they have with their mother. They're more open to having discussions with me than they would with their mother. It allows us to help children grow in a different way because it's just habit after habit. My sister's only going to project what she's learned, whereas I'm coming from a different angle of actually, no, let's try this approach. Let's, approach it from this angle, etc. So there's a balance to it because not everybody wants to be like, I don't want to go through childbirth. I really don't want to do that.
Girl,
why should I be throwing up? It's ill.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. This is it. You are preaching this morning.
So how would you feel if, like, let's just say, because obviously you're like, as I say, you're preaching and proselytizing and trying to get as many women on your side as possible.
We're already on her side. We're already on her side. We're up and off.
If you found out, right, overnight, 50% of women think like you, how would you feel?
I would understand it and I'm okay with it. I live for it. At the same time, I'm someone who believes in adoption. I'm heavy on adoption. I think there are enough children out there that do need that love, that care, that attention that we can all seek out and help. So it's not the end of the world. There are children still being born. It's not like they're not. It's just situations don't allow a healthy environment for these children to grow up in those perfect, ideal worlds.
But obviously, but you understand.
No, I want to be her friend. I really want to be your friend.
But you understand.
You should have been there on Saturday.
But you understand that obviously if everyone thought like that, there'll be less kids to adopt, right? And then eventually you just be looking after yourselves.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But at the same time, the adults above us don't really care about us. So what's my problem?
So you're okay if the human race just wipes out? Like,
yeah.
Listen, I'm a firm believer in when God's time comes, it comes. It's bound to happen. Exactly. Death is inevitable. Like, come on. We can't live forever. What's the point?
All right.
You are spitting this morning.
All right.
Big up you. Have the best day there is to have today.
All right.
Same to you guys. Take care. Bye.
Take care.
See you later, hon. The thing is that there's a lot of women who want to have kids, but I feel like whenever we have these topics, we're addressing the women who don't want to have kids. And like she was saying, yeah, like parenting is more than just having kids and providing for them and stuff like that. Like I feel like pushing people who don't want to have kids results in bad parenting. That's why people then end up like, maltreating their children and things they haven't worked on themselves that they need to work on, which I think people should have therapy before they have kids anyway, but that's another conversation for another day. But things that people haven't worked on on themselves, they end up projecting on their children and treating their children a certain way. And then your kids grow up anyway and then are resentful of you and don't want to spend time with you. So you might as well not have had the kids because you're too lonely, if that's going to be the case. Do you get me? So I feel like my thing is there's a lot of women who want to have children. And like you're saying, there's a lot of kids to be adopted. There's a lot of people that want to have children for conversations to always try to force women who don't want to have children to go down, to try and convince them to go down the path of having children, because it's not going to be productive for society. It's not going to be productive for society. You're going to be raising kids that might not be the best for society. Then now we've got a different problem. Yeah, we didn't tip at the point, but now we've got different problems to deal with. I don't know, man.
Can I ask you this question, before we kind of wrap up, Like, say you had 100% of these people like Tracy, right? You're like, you know what? I'm fine with not having children, this and the third. How many, and I don't mean no disrespect, trigger warning and all them things, right? Out of that pool of people, how many of them would change their mind if they found a partner that wanted to have kids?
But this is the thing, though. I feel like I don't know how many. I don't know how many of them will change their minds. But again, it's what she spoke about, because I see being a parent as a responsibility, and when I think about everything that's on my plate right now, I can't imagine having a child to cater to right now. I don't have that. I can't take on that responsibility. If it was a case where like the fathers, like it was when women can have kids and know that, you know what, the father's going to be as helpful as I am with these children. I think one woman will be open to having kids. But again, I hear like married women who have children, like married for years, and it's like they're basically single parents. It's wild.
I see, the thing is, a lot of women say that, and again, I'm not trying to belittle anyone's. I'm not in anybody else's house, innit?
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's like I'm a single parent, but you're not. And if the man was gone and you experienced real single parenthood, I think you know the difference.
That's not good. I don't think that's where you should have taken that.
But it's facts.
I don't think that. No, it's not facts.
It's facts.
I don't think that's where you should take it.
There's single women. There are single women out there that are not
Hi, good morning.
parents. They're single women. There's a difference in it. Like, but they're just because we're not together.
But I'm telling you, married people, and they're in the marriage feeling like a single parent, and your rebuttal to that cannot be that. Yeah, but the actual single women have it worse. That can't. No, it's about women. It's about men stepping up the game.
It's not me saying they have it worse necessarily. It's me saying, I think you're underestimating the input of the man.
But I feel like, I'm not doing this. Good morning, caller.
Good morning,
caller.
Definitely not doing this morning.
Hi, good morning, guys. You all right?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mr. Tariq.
Yes, man. You all right, mate?
Yeah. What you saying, you all right?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Yeah, interesting conversation. What I would say to this is, like, I think the conversation was kind of going more to just the women being able to have this say in when to have kids and that. And I understand, obviously, the biology, the woman has to have the kid. But just talking about myself for a second, like, I had a kid when I was 21, and growing up, obviously, finishing university and starting my job, like, I made the decision myself that I was not going to have another kid until I was stable enough. At the minute now, I'm over 30 now, and I have to be more realistic when it comes to like settling down and having more kids. That is obviously not out of the question, but I have to be more realistic. So if I was to get with somebody, be with them, have a kid, that I'll most likely not have another kid till I'm about 35, let's say. Ideally, the woman is going to be around that age as well. So I should really know that there is going to be a possibility that she might not be able to have another kid, or she might have one kid. So it's not just because the women don't want to have kids. Maybe like some of us have actually made that decision to try not to have any more kids until we want to. So yes, there's less parents, but it's not just the women that don't want to have kids. So that was just what I was trying to say earlier.
No, you're 100% right about the about it not being just women. Like we mentioned in Japan and Thailand, didn't it? A lot of these men who even marry their partners, husbands, and all sorts, right? Pretty much divorce their wives, or the wives divorce them because they didn't want to have no kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a combined effort. You know what I'm saying, to mess up the planet. But you know. Like, what do we kind of do about it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, this is going to go to, like, having kids being attractive, if I'm honest with you. Because at the minute, like, with the way the world is going and how society is when it comes to our political norms and that's happening now, I don't think it's that attractive to a lot of people. Everybody knows how much it costs for a childcare. Everybody knows how... mortgages and that, like, I mean, having a bigger house, all these factors is something that you have to look into. So I don't think as a society it's just about saying, yes, I'm ready to have a kid. It's having a look at the bigger picture and seeing, like, okay, I might be able to have kids here, but is it attainable for me to live comfortably as well? Because if I'm honest with you, like, when I had my kid, I was like one of the first in my friendship group to have a kid. Following that, like, a lot of my friends had like multiple kids, and I've seen them struggling like day to day. Like, and I'm not just talking about money; I'm talking about everything, juggling like the home life, work life, and all of that. And that, to me, that was not attractive at all. So. At the minute, like, obviously, yes, I might be able to afford like childcare, etc. But a lot of people might not be able to. They look at like the costs that go into like raising that kid, and it might not be attainable for them, and that is perfectly fine. You know what I mean? So we need to like think about like ways that we can the wider community or like the wider society.
People need to be more intentional with what they're doing So don't you think? Yeah, you see, like back in the day, yeah, we've got too much options and stuff. Yeah, you see that. But I'm not saying it was right or wrong. Yeah, but back in the day, yeah, people was like under the mindset like that they was gonna go and get married. They was gonna have kids. It wasn't even like you see that now. There's options. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. You see, back in the days, yeah, they knew they was gonna do that. I'm not saying it was right, but they knew they was gonna have kids. They knew they was gonna have get married and that. So they was out here looking for husbands and fathers and stuff like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, no one ain't looking for no husband now. You know what I'm trying to say? So if you saying that you can't take that responsibility on now, but if you was looking for a father and you found a man that could be that husband and be that father, you could do it. But no one ain't doing that. No one ain't looking. No one ain't being intentional with their dating. It's just looking good time and things. No, and then you're getting pregnant by someone that you don't. If your mindset was to know that, yeah, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing. When you're outside in the world, you're going to be looking for the right things. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yep. And it's same for the men as well. The men probably had a mindset that they was going to get married and be fathers and people ain't looking for these kind of things. You get me? Like, we can still do it now. It's just that this is not what we want. You get what I'm trying to say? And you're not intentional with what you're doing. People are jumping in bed with anybody and everybody, not even knowing who these people are, getting pregnant and then being surprised when they don't stick around, even when they do stick around, can't do nothing. And it's just because the mindset's not there. People was intentional with what they're doing and understood that this is what any man that I sleep with could potentially be my father. I'm not going to These things could happen. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean,
I don't know.
People definitely do need to be.
Go on to me, babe.
Yeah, I was going to say, people definitely do need to be more intentional, and that goes with everything, to be honest. When it comes to the dating, when it comes to where they see themselves, do you want to have kids? How many kids do you want to have? These are the conversations you need to have with people from the get-go. And Mark is right. Like a lot of people do not have these conversations, and then that's where we end up with people just getting pregnant and not have thought about it, etc.
Yeah, I do think there needs to be intention. But you know what it is, though? I feel like because the earlier generation, I feel like with them, I don't think there necessarily was a thing of they weren't searching. That was the culture that you will get married, that this is what's going to happen. I wouldn't necessarily think that, because the ages that they would get married and like how they would settle down and stuff, I feel like people are searching more today than they were back then. Back then, everyone was on code, that this is what happens. So like the men want code, the women want on code. Like I'm someone who moves with intention. I've met more men who don't want the same things that I want. Do you get what I mean? But yet I'm moving with intention. I don't know. I feel like the way they were, the culture back then was just different. The way they got, like, marriages happen, the way kids happen was different back then. I definitely do agree that people need to, like, my mindset is, if I sleep with this person, I could be pregnant. Whether I'm on the 50,000 contraceptions, whatever it is, like, in my mind, I'm not sleeping with somebody who I don't see to be a potential father to my child. Like, if I'm not going to be comfortable with that, do you know what? I wouldn't mind you being a father to my child. And if everyone moved like that, maybe my tip West though.
And I think with that as well,
that's true.
I think with that as well, like we need to accept the fact that like in the older generation or like generations before us, yes, everything was kind of laid out and that was the norm. That's what they were used to. But we need to accept that a lot of people have not been brought up that way now, especially like with Gen Z, like that's behind us. So the way they see like how they want their immediate future to be, a lot of people, they do not see marriage, they do not see like having kids. Whereas like when we was growing up, like I mean, I'm sure everybody had this idea in their head, like they'll be married with 2 kids by the age of 25.
I wanted to try. I wanted to be 25.
So you wanted to?
I wanted to be married
exactly.
by 25.
So
did you?
I couldn't think. Yeah, of course I did. I'm a Nigerian girl. That's how I grew up. But I couldn't imagine anything worse though. My baby girl. What am I doing?
Yeah, so we need
to. 25?
So we need to accept that, obviously, that might not be the case, but actually have to think about what things can we do going forward now, which is one, what Mark said, which is like just be more intentional with what you want and when you're dating from the get-go. And also, I feel like from the men's point of view, we need to understand that it's not just us that have to click our fingers and be ready to have a kid. The woman has to be as well. Yeah. So we can't just be bashing women and being like, oh, she's going to be 30, talking about like her biological clock, etc. When in reality, like we've never had these conversations with the people, with these girls, or been intentional with them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you, but just to kind of throw in the other side, do you not feel as though women should kind of just be mindful of the fact that, okay, you know what, I am getting older, this is my reality. And if I
Who are
don't
they
do
having
s-
babies with, Iman? If
No,
women are raised,
Yeah.
to, that you should want to get married at 25.
Yeah.
You want to have kids, your biological clock, blah, blah. But men are not being raised with settle down with women at 25, women's biological clock, blah, blah. There's a bunch of women today, like you were saying earlier about the 100% stuff, yeah? There's a bunch of women, if they had the right partner, they would be ready to settle down. But you've got a lot of women who are intentional, who want to settle down, who want to do that, but they just keep meeting men who want the opposite of what they want. There's a lot of men. If men are raised with the same energy to want to settle down, to want to have kids as women, and I think that's what the next generation needs to do. If that is the case, we will not be having a conversation about the tipping point of any generations.
I agree with you.
I know. I mean, Esther, with that point, I always believe like you always get the energy back that you put out to the world. So yes, there might be some men out there like that, but you have to also look within yourself as well. Like there are certain women that seek out these men, that seek out temporary men. So again, it all goes back to the same thing, which is like you just have to be more intentional. Yeah. And to your point, Iman, yes, the women they have to in terms of going forward, they have to think about they have to be mindful about their biological clock. But that's just one of the factors that goes into it. I have to be mindful that I don't get anyone pregnant at the minute. Do you know what I mean? So it's just the exact same way. So yes, they have to be mindful that their clock is running out, but that's her business. That is her choice. So it's just I don't know. I just feel like it's going backwards. Whenever we bash women constantly saying there's more women that don't want to have babies. There's women that they're outside. But I think, it just doesn't make sense to me, to be honest.
I hear you, yeah. Obviously, we have to move on that, but I hear you, but I don't know if you can have it both ways. You can't necessarily say, that's her problem. That's up to her to decide, you know what I'm saying? And then at the same time say, well, men are not serious. It's they're two different things, but yet we're kind of grouping them together, you know what I'm saying? I believe it's a joint effort. Men need to be more intentional, women need to be more intentional.
Yeah, exactly that. So if the women are more intentional with what they want and actually be think about the biological clock, etc., men have to be more intentional as well. And then maybe we can come to a place where everything is fine, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay.
But good talking to you guys. Speak to you
Next week.
Thanks.
Ultimately, God help everybody.
Yes.
God help everybody. That's really there.
I just wanted to say one last stat that kind of backs up what you were saying, Esther, right? And this is a lady, she was giving a TED talk, and she, I think she's from the era of women who were kind of born from 1965 upwards, And she basically said the amount of people who were childless at her age, which was 45, is double than the amount of people who were childless at that same age in her parents' generation.
Okay.
And she said basically, according to the stats, 10% of those women chose to be, childless. 10% had fertility issues, but the big 80% is due to circumstance. Yeah. Obviously, a big part of that is because they couldn't find a partner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard finding a partner. I think sometimes people speak about it be more intentional and go out there and blah, blah, but I don't believe in luck in it. I believe in God. But really and truly, it is just luck because you don't know where it is, when or where you're going to meet your partner. So you could be intentional. You can set up all the dating apps you want to do. You can be outside as much as you want to. And then you just randomly meet your partner when you're going to return your ASOS package. Do you know what I mean? You just never really know. But I feel like people don't consider that when they say it.
Good morning, caller.
Hello?
Hello?
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Veronica. I'm listening to The Day After. I was wondering if I can have an opinion.
Yes, of course. Can you turn us down in the background, please?
Thank you.
Can you turn us down in the back, please?
Your horn.
Sure. No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, babe.
All right. Speak to the people, Veronica.
Oh, hi. I'm a bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. But I just wanted to, I think we should just go back to the question, are people having less kids or are less people parents?
Yeah.
I think we have to, speaking to Esther, because we're both women, no offense to the guys there, but we have to also look at,
sometimes.
Yeah, we have to also we have to pay attention to our nature as mammals. Yeah. So females, generally, we are very selective when it comes to mating with a male. So we always tend to look for the best behaved, biggest, and the flashiest for our offsprings to have, to thrive, to be potential. Whereas males, and this is a research that I went through, males kind of want to have children with multiple women because, I don't know, with males, they base having kids on quantity. So it's easier for them to be promiscuous with multiple females and hopefully find offsprings out of the odds that can thrive. So that's where both of our sexes are threatened with genetic legacy. And nowadays, I find that the world is changing. We're all evolving. Women, we didn't have the freedom that we did a few years ago. So we are very selective with the males that we are picking, and we're using discretion. Earlier, I heard a caller called Kevin, and that's his opinion. But for me personally, I felt that he was using brute force by using society standards. Women have a biological clock. Yes, I understand. But men too, because a male sperm ages. So by the time he's 40 and he has a child, that child can have deficiencies. That baby can come out Down syndrome, issues, because his sperm is not as strong as he was when he was in his 20s and 30s. So we have to have equilibrium here. Both the sexes need each other, but we both need to be at the same page. Women need, or women who don't want children, that's up to them. But if we're talking about people who want to have children, women are going to select the best mate. And the mates that we are around and seeing, they are not the best behaved. They're not the biggest. They're not the flashiest. They're average males. And average males use brute force. Or you have a biological clock.
I love her.
or you have a biological clock. Or we're going to get young women. Young women don't want old men either, because she's thinking, right, if I get with an old man, my baby is going to have deficiencies. You see? So we have to be realistic with this. And another thing, like, we also have to search, like, the world is overpopulated. The world is overpopulated. And this is causing economic instabilities, climate change, resources are limited. This morning I was watching the Sky News about the banks, HSBC, Lloyd's, interest rates off the rails. People can't save because they're not making enough money. If we're going to bring children into this world, we have to make sure we fix this world first. And I don't think we are prioritizing that. And another thing, people who have careers, they are selective because they have resources. Yeah, people who are having multiple children are the ones who are in the lower hierarchy. So, like, they don't have good income. They're middle class. They're working class. So you find those people who are in that condition. They're depressed, right? Depression is all around them. So they tend to multiply kids more than anything. And then now those kids grow up in this functionality, like no purpose. Like, I don't know. I think we have to be very sensitive what we're talking about here. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's very good opinions.
Yeah, you made
Veronica.
some good points. You made some good points, Veronica. Thank you for
woman.
calling. Make sure you call again. Make sure you call again.
No questions for me, Esther. What do you think? What can you take off from that?
No, I agree with everything you
objective.
said. No, I 100% agree with everything you said. Like, I feel like I hold the same sentiments and the same opinions as you do. Like, I 100% agree. I don't feel like women and men are aligned in terms of what it is that we're told we should want. And because we always hear about women's biological clock. No one speaks about men's biological clock. Instead, men boast that they can, release sperm at the age of 80 and they can do whatever they want to do. What was it? Was it Robert De Niro, whatever his name was?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but these are conversations that need to be had.
I would say that you said, would you say that women make the best choices and pick the best partners and stuff like that?
Yeah,
women are very
It's fair, it's wrong. So women make hella bad choices. Still, women love bad choices.
No offense, Margs, but you're speaking like the average male. You're using brute force. You're
No,
speaking
you
with
can't
brute
do
force.
that brute force.
You're undermining women's
I love it.
judgment. You're undermining women's judgment.
I'm gonna start using that.
I don't like that one either. Yeah.
No, but Esther,
you know what's
who
funny
was
though
the
about-
the actor?
Go on,
You
babe.
said that the 80-year-old man. Who was this 80-year-old man?
Robert De Niro.
And
He
Al
just-
Pacino as well.
Oh
Both
gosh.
of them.
But this is what I'm saying, that a man's sperm is not as strong before he's 40. So just because a man can shoot up in a woman doesn't mean that that baby is going to be legit. There's consequences. So women have to play this as women have to be very careful. Even man has biological clock. The older he is, the weaker his sperm.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, but it's far less ramifications.
So why are you going to have children with an old man?
She's a great caller. Because we all, like, I feel like society really has targets on women's back. It's always, women need to settle down.
Yeah,
Women need to-
exactly.
'cause even when you said about women make, sorry, Veronica, when you said about women make bad choices, the bad choices are the bad men that are out there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but there's good ones there that you left.
barely. Barely. Okay? But yeah, man.
I mean, there's good men out there. There's good men out there, man. I come across them all the time, but you still have to be very selective with who you're going to have children with.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Men, have your
All right.
CMOS.
Thank you.
Thanks, Veronica. Take care.
You're welcome. Bye.
Take your maca and that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Take responsibility first, but okay. All right, well, I think that's that on.
She called
on
up
that.
there. That's what she might be Kevin's nemesis.
Last thing, just
love
in
it.
case it wasn't clear, basically there are less people becoming parents in it. You know what I'm saying? People who tend to have kids go on to have the same amount of kids as always before, like 2 or more, whatever. But it's just a bigger portion of the population who just don't become parents at all, and that's what's causing this issue.
Is it?
Is that a black thing though? Is that a black community thing, or is that?
It's less so the black community.
Okay, because I feel like sometimes these things are put onto us and it's not our issue.
Oh,
at
100%,
all.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So
We just have to, sit back and take over the world. Everybody else can,
yes.
Yes. I agree.
But yeah,
All
man.
right. Lovely, thank you. That was a good. What's the documentary called? Just
Yes, birth gap.
I'm still not over brute force, man. I didn't like brute force.
brute force. I'm using that now.
I don't like brute force.
I don't appreciate your brute force.
I don't like brute force. I don't
That
like
is my
it.
line. Thanks, Veronica.
1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute, caller. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good
You
morning,
have 1
caller.
minute.
Yeah, Daniel calling. It's just a quick one, really, regarding the last caller. Regarding the Down syndrome. Because I just Googled it, basically. It normally comes, 90% of the time, it comes from the mother's side.
Yeah, but still,
And
though,
the
the point is that listen, don't focus on the little things, right? This one,
No, I'm just saying,
Don't focus on the facts, guys.
Like, first of all, I don't like it. That's not the point, bro. The point is that men also have some biological things they need to look into.
Yes, it's true.
That's the point. That's the
What
main
is- what
point.
is the-
That's the gist of it.
no, what I'm trying to work out, what is the main point regarding biological from the male side?
Google the same way you
But
Google
it's
the
not
first
Down
time. You Google again.
It's not Down
Run it up.
syndrome. It's not Down syndrome, though. That's the thing.
Daniel, thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much,
Have a nice
man.
day. All right, let's get into our headlines.
Oh, man. All right, so next headline takes us to America, where, to be fair, I feel like we're kind of familiar with these kind of stats here, unfortunately. Trigger warning here. And it's been found, according to a new study, that the number of women who died within a year after pregnancy more than doubled between 1999 and 2019 in the United States, with the highest number of deaths recorded amongst black women.
This is ironic, considering you're just talking about women having kids.
Yeah.
This is another deterrent.
Yeah, it's a big problem, man. The study published on Monday in the Journal of American Medical Association looked at maternal deaths between 1999 and 2019, but not the COVID-19 pandemic spike, for every US state and 5 racial and ethnic groups. There was an estimated 1,210 maternal deaths in 2019 compared to just 500, or not just, but compared to 505 in 1999. Overall, the number of deaths per 100,000 live births rose from 12.7 to 32.2 in the 20-year span, whilst the number of deaths amongst black women increased from 26.7 to 55.4. The greatest jump over time was seen amongst the American Indians and the Alaska Native women, however, who jumped from like 14 deaths per 100,000 live births to 49.2 in 2009. Next headline takes us to a Channel 4 documentary, which has revealed that thousands of young people are living with PTSD, with most cases going untreated. About 311,000 16 to 24-year-olds in England and Wales have PTSD, with most linked to personal assault and violence. This according to the figures estimated for the show. Low awareness of the symptoms and the difficulty of diagnosing PTSD means that 70% of these cases actually go untreated. If the NHS offered more early intervention therapy, it could save £2.4 billion in taxpayers' money. This according to this Channel 4's analysis of research done by the King's College London and the Office for National Statistics data. Dr. Michael Duffy, who's a psychological trauma specialist at Queen's University in Belfast, who features on the same show, came out and said that when untreated, PTSD becomes a chronic condition. It becomes highly disabling, and people's lives can be fundamentally changed. In addition to diagnosis being difficult, people with PTSD face long waits for treatment. A rapid growing children's mental health crisis has resulted in waiting times for access to child and adolescent mental health services, CAMS, rising to 3 years in some parts of the UK. And the same documentary, I'm not too sure if you lot saw some of the things on social media yesterday, but the documentary follows the rapper Konan as he receives treatment for PTSD for the first time. He started having symptoms including flashbacks, anxiety, paranoia, anger, and strong feelings of guilt. This is more than a decade ago, after gang members searching for him broke into his house, shooting at his mother and killing his stepfather. Speaking to The Guardian, Konan said that he believed that a lot of people he knew had PTSD. He said they don't understand how it's affecting how they move through life now that they're adults. Being aware of it is the first step. And last headline takes us to China, where the Chinese government is tightening controls of exports of 2 key materials used to make computer chips. From next month, special licenses will be needed to export gallium and germanium from China, which is the world's biggest producer of the metals. It comes in response to Washington's efforts to curb Chinese access to some advanced microprocessors. The announcement comes just days before a high-stakes trip to Beijing by the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. On Monday, China's Ministry of Commerce said that the restrictions were needed to safeguard national security and interests. And these silvery metals are used in semiconductors, communications, and military equipment. They're also key materials in products like solar panels and stuff like this. And basically, the US has taken steps to restrict China's access to technology that it fears could be put out for military use, such as chips used for supercomputing and artificial intelligence. That's it for the headlines.
Thank you.
It's time to pay them bills.
That's right. Let's get into Word on Road. All right. So very quickly from me today. This is actually very sad news from the Real Housewives camp. Kyle Richards, she's Paris Hilton's aunt. Her sister, Kathy Hilton, is her older sister. Mm-hmm. But basically, there was news reported by People magazine that she and Mauricio, who is the best housewives husband, really and truly, best good-looking one as well. So basically, apparently, they're separating after 27 years of marriage. It's actually really sad. They're such a beautiful couple. They're my favorites from the Beverly Hills franchise. And yeah, so a source basically said that they've been separated for a while now, but they're still living under the same roof, and they remain, they're basically like at peace and stuff until they figure out what's next for them and their family. They've got 3 kids. She had 1 from a previous marriage, but they're such a beautiful family. I think he's Italian. Yeah, he is Italian. But then she posted on Instagram, they both posted on their Instagrams, and she said, in regards to the news that came out about us yesterday, any claims regarding us divorcing are untrue. However, yes, we have had a rough year, the most challenging one of our marriage, but we both love and respect each other tremendously. There has been no wrongdoing on anyone's part. Although we are in the public eye, we ask to be able to work through our issues privately. While it may be entertaining to speculate, please do not create false stories to fit a further salacious narrative. Thank you for the love and support, Kyle and Mauricio. So basically, he was also on a podcast, I think it was Teddy, she was another cast member on Beverly Hills Housewife, And he actually brought up the rumours, and he said that in the next season coming out, which they've just finished wrapping up, they will be addressing it. He and Kyle will be talking about it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope they don't. I hope they can work it out though, if something is going on, because they're really a beautiful couple. Because she basically fell out with, so the mum passed away. She's a child star. So is her sister, Kim. That's it. Kim Richards, her, and obviously Kathy. And the mum passed away. But then there was like a whole thing, because Kim like struggles with like alcohol and drugs, I think it is, but definitely alcohol. And she was basically cut off from her sisters. And it was so sad like watching on the show. And like Kathy and Kim weren't talking to her for like years, and it was a whole thing. But it was always so beautiful how like her husband stuck with her through everything, and he would like give her the space to like be upset and cry, and it was just so beautiful to see, man. So I hope they can work it out. And he's a great father from what the kids always say. So big up him, man. What am I talking about next? Sorry, one sec. What is this on there? Jay-Z's mum, that's it. Thank you. So Jay-Z's mum got married to her partner, her long-time partner. Jay-Z's mum's name is Gloria. Someone in the comments was like, I don't know why this sounds weird, but I didn't think Jay-Z had a mum. Not in a rude way, but like you'd never hear about Jay-Z's mum. And I was like, you know, I understand what they're saying.
He raps about his mum.
Yeah, she was on one of his albums. On that intro.
Yeah.
She's lesbian now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, not now, but yeah.
From time.
So basically, she's married to her wife, whose name is Roxanne Wilshire. And they got married over the weekend, and everyone was there. Kelly Rowland and all the nieces and nephews and Beyonce. Everyone was there, really. So it looked good. And obviously there was a whole thing about not knowing his mum was this, and he raps about all of these things, but it doesn't rap about his mum being a lesbian. But he did. On a song called Smile, right? He said, Mama had, this was on the 444 album, he said, Mama had 4 kids, but she's a lesbian, had to pretend so long that she's a thespian, had to hide in the closet, so she medicate society's shame, and the pain was, when you're reading lyrics out, yeah, you're not rapping, it sounds silly. But yeah, man, he said he cried tears of, this is in the song, cried tears of joy when you fell in love. Don't matter to me if it's a him or her. I just want to see you smile through all the hates. Marie Antoinette, baby, let him eat cake. Cute. So yeah, big up them. And then, like we heard in the headline about Conan's new documentary, Channel 4, Proper Sick. I actually did not check to see what was in the headlines, but anyways. So he posted on Instagram, and I thought, I'm really, really here for this. I'm very much here and an advocate for men doing therapy, because I just think it's healthy. I think all of that, you know, be raised to be a man and be a man's man and be strong, and I think is so harmful. But yeah, he posted it, and his caption said, over the past few months, I have been involved in the filming of a documentary for Channel 4. The focus of this documentary was my personal journey through therapy, which aimed to address and cope with my past traumas. As a result, I received an official diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Throughout the documentary, I travelled across the country meeting and connecting with other individuals who are also grappling with PTSD. I hope this documentary encourages others to engage in open dialogue rather than bottling up things like I did. I hope it inspires them to seek help and actively pursue their own healing and self-improvement journeys.
You know what's funny? I saw that and I just kissed my teeth, man. I was like, boo, man. We all got PTSD, brother, man. Like,
well, he's doing something about it. Huh? That's the whole point.
Man up! This is what's wrong with the world. I swear to God, I was scrolling through this morning. I was rocking with it. I read the whole caption. It's literally my nigga. We all got PTSD, man. Grow up, man. Talking nonsense, man.
You know, so crazy.
What?
When I read it, I thought of you. When I read it, I said, I need this breakthrough for my babes. That's what I need. We will get there. You mark my words. I'm doing SPF. I'm going to do with therapy too. Watch. But if you want to check out the documentary, it's called Untold Channel 4, and it's called Konan, Trapped in Trauma. And yeah, you can check it out. I'm going to check it out. It's on the YouTube page as well, if you don't want to go on the Channel 4 website. I'm going to check it out. I think it's really, really cool that he's done that. And he had like a snippet with Krept. And he was saying how his therapist said to him that if you don't feel sadness, when good things happen for you, you don't know how to feel that as well. Because you're not in touch with your emotions. So you can't just block out one emotion. If you block one emotion out, you're blocking everything out. So, and Krept was saying how that's why he can't, sometimes his successes, he can't enjoy it. He can't take it in because he's so used to blocking out things that he's not deeping like achievements and stuff like that. But I think it's really, really cool. Check it out. Check it out. My head just moved. Check it out and let's get into the People's Journal.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. So the first thing I want to talk about, this is breaking news, by the way. Sad news. And the average mortgage rate for a 5-year fixed rate deal has risen to over 6% now. It's official. Over 6%. Money Facts pretty much said that the average 2-year fixed rate deal has now increased to 6.47. The previous average for a 5-year rate was 5.97. That was on Monday. And at the time, a 2-year deal was 6.42. So again, it's gone up from 6.42 for 2 years up to 6.47. And for the 5-year rates, 5.97%. That was just on Monday, and that's gone up to 6.01%. A 5-year fixed deal is at a high that's not been seen since the 21st of November, obviously, when we had the whole release of the budget from Liz Truss and Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng. Big up Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng.
No, not big enough.
Absolutely not.
No.
He tried his best. You lot didn't give him enough time, man.
Tried his
No.
best.
He only had a month and a half in
He
office.
doesn't even claim us.
But yeah, unfortunately, that's the situation with the mortgage rates. Have you lot heard of an app called Threads?
Yes, when Elon was doing his foolishness over the weekend,
Mm.
it appeared that might be the next place to go.
There you go. Thank you, Esther. So basically,
I didn't go there.
it's
Too much foolishness.
Is that like
it's not
Twitter or
live.
something?
Yeah, it's not live yet. Though. It's going to be live on
Is it-
Thursday.
Yeah. No, that's Instagram's one.
Which one?
Threads. Instagram's doing it. Is it.
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
Meta?
Meta,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So then,
Oh, mate, it's a
yeah.
wrap.
Less stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, for those unaware, Meta is launching a rival to Twitter, and they're saying it's going to be live on Thursday. It's called Threads. Obviously, it's going to be available to pre-order, and I think from now, in fact, on Apple Store.
Have you paid for
Order?
it?
Well, it says available for pre-order, so you might need to.
It'd be a pre-download. I ain't paying for nothing.
Kind of like
Might
the
as well
Twitter
say-
thing, isn't it?
Might as well say with the blue then, as in Twitter.
Where? Yeah, man. Apparently, from some of the screenshots, it's different to Twitter, but obviously you can see the similar type of theme in it. You know what I'm saying? Brent, I put a link there just in case you could put certain things
Thanks.
up. All right.
We need a new app anyway.
I think we all emigrate. I was
Because
going
I'm
to say
not a
that.
TikTok man, so that's
Yeah,
like
I can't
TikTok
keep up.
can't do it for me. It doesn't. I need something new that I can work with.
But won't this just be the same as Twitter, though? It's like you're just having two Twitters, effectively.
Yeah,
No, but
Twitter's
that's the thing
been-
though.
Run by a
but
madman.
then that's what I need. Then I need a new Twitter.
That's a word.
I'm cool
Yeah,
with
I
it.
think we should all just have a new
I'm
Twitter.
cool with it being a new Twitter. If it moved just like the old, if it moved like how Twitter used to move before,
Yeah.
then that's
Yeah,
fine.
this is the one.
Just give us that back.
As in like,
Just normal.
like with because in my mind, yeah, like you should be able to when this starts. We're not gonna start when we started with Twitter, where we had to like do like picture memes. We got gifs and everything. And do you get what I mean? I think we should all just move to Threads, teach Elon a lesson or
Yeah.
or
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They just need to copy the exact way Twitter was
Yeah.
when we all liked it, and just bring it back, and then
And
we'll
just
just
that's it.
all go then.
Well, basically, it appears that for Meta's Threads app, right, that it's going to be free. It's going to be a free service. So I think you can just do the pre-download.
Like how you do albums.
Pre-download.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
So it's
that's
going to be a
lit.
free service, and there'll be no restrictions on how many posts a user can see, which obviously
Yes,
that was
changed
ridiculous.
on
Yeah.
Twitter as well. So yeah, man.
Is that still a thing though? I mean, that was a glitch, wasn't it?
It wasn't. We talked about it yesterday. He was trying some new code.
Oh yeah. So he's undone the code.
Yeah, you haven't had the rate limit lick yet.
Because I had to save my for Casa more, didn't I?
No.
I couldn't go on Twitter the whole day. I want to get the tea and the gist. Casa, okay, fair enough.
The next thing is the head of the International Energy Agency has come out to say the energy prices could spike this winter, forcing the governments again to step in to subsidize bills and all that type of stuff. Yeah, man. Basically saying if the Chinese economy strengthens quickly and there's a harsh winter, gas prices could rise. And that's obviously going to put pressure on us and all that type of stuff, yeah. Fateh Birol, this is the same person. He's basically talking in an interview, and he added that governments should push for energy saving and boost renewables and stuff like this, innit? You know what I'm saying? But Because of all of this, a UK government spokesperson said the annual energy bills are set to fall by an average of £430 this month. So obviously, yes, in the winter, it may be a more dire situation, but focus on it now, innit? And it's basically going to drop £430 this month. But again, this year, and last year, it's been up and down, innit? So bear all of that in mind. Apparently, there was a record-breaking seizure by policemen. So basically, what they're saying is, seizing counterfeit goods, basically.
Oh.
Guess how much all them counterfeit items were actually estimated at? Record-breaking.
£2.5 million.
Couple billion.
Couple billion?
Yeah, you said record breaking.
23 million. 23
million. You're saying 2 million?
2.5.
Marks, how much did you estimate your goods at?
How estimate my what? Sorry,
your goods.
The police is good. All the goods the police seized. How much you reckon
From your
is
warehouse.
worth? It's record breaking.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Something got seized and you want me to guess?
Yeah.
Value.
I thought you was putting a value on my goods. I was saying, what time?
Okay.
What are we doing here?
You put your head out to send one text. Bloody hell.
Yes, basically, I'll tell you what.
Ridiculous.
I'll tell you what it contains, right? So basically, more than 580 tons of clothes, drugs, tobacco, vapes, nitrous oxide, canisters, and they were found in like 207 shipping containers in Manchester. So yeah, man. Basically, it was worth estimated 870 million.
Okay. You said 1 billion.
I was the closest.
This is true. This is true. But
78.
870 million.
So where's all that money going? That's my thing.
Boy. Who knows?
Love crime.
Who knows? And the very last thing is very short, and this is basically the CEO of Sainsbury's has pretty much come out to say that food inflation is starting to fall. So, yeah, man, they're saying, well, he said on Tuesday, earlier today, that it expects pre-tax profits of between 640 million and 700 million for 2023. As because obviously Sainsbury's sales grew due to the lower prices and stuff like that. So because they're able to bring the prices down, obviously more people buying, things of that nature. And also the fuel sales as well sharply fell as well. So that's kind of benefited them in terms of the profit margin. And hopefully this means that things will get better by the end of the year. Obviously, we can't totally write off the idea that the Bank of England may increase the interest rates again. But overall, hopefully inflation will continue to fall in by the end of the year. I don't think they're going to reach their target of 3% though, but we'll see what happens. And that's it for the People's Journal.
Thank you very much. Let's get into our interview.
Yeah.
Does the mic need to be closer?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. So our lovely guest today, our Black Excellence. If you'll please introduce yourselves and we'll get into what you do.
Should I start? My name's Beverly.
I sound like you weren't sure your name was Beverly.
Oh yeah, my name's Beverly.
I'm Sade.
I'm Dana.
And
we are Peppah. Like a girl group.
I was gonna say we are Peppah, but yeah.
Yeah.
We are from Peppah.
Yeah.
Love
We're
that.
an event and PR and marketing agency.
Okay.
Love that. How are you guys doing though? First of all, you guys came in on a hot conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Very
listening to it.
interesting.
I walked from my house, obviously.
Oh,
walking
did you walk into
Jericho.
Jericho? Of course.
I was listening to it as I was walking, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not
Wait,
a
is everyone walking
fan.
to Jericho or something?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a movement.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to tell
It's
you.
not that far, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are good.
Yeah.
Can you let us know, please, what your agency is?
So as I said, we're like an event, PR and marketing company. So essentially we work with different brands like in tech and also in music, entertainment, and we deliver campaigns for them or events for them and that sort of thing. So it could be anything. It could be a party. It could be a conference. It could be, I don't know, press launch or anything like that.
Album launch.
Yeah, album launch.
Have you done anything that I would be aware of?
Yeah, you've probably been to a couple of things we've done. We've done
Is
a lot
it?
of stuff
I'm
with
trying to think.
TikTok,
Yeah.
and stuff. Last year.
really
So
cool.
like Carnival, we done the Black History Month event. We've done that a couple of times
The
actually.
float at Carnival.
Yeah. Award winning, by the way. We've done Major League DJs concert
sick.
at Brixton, yeah, as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we've done quite a few bits
Translate
actually.
culture.
Translate culture, yeah.
How did you guys get started? Whose idea was it?
So we've known each other for pretty much all our lives. I've worked with Sade back at Google maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've known Beverly since she was 2. So so we've always been friends, and we all we're wicked in our own respective fields. Like Beverly's heavily finance, Sade's heavily project management, events management, and I'm in the music space from a management perspective and PR.
Yeah.
And we've all worked with each other in different capacities.
Okay.
And I've always thought, how can we make? I need money. Let's just
First
start
of all.
there. How can we secure the bag? And I'm just fortunate enough to be around people who are sick at what they do. And I just thought, why not come together? I started a platform called Peppah, essentially around the Afrobeat space, because I work heavily within Afrobeats as well. And I realised there's not really much of a space that documents what's going on culturally. Just like GRM is pretty much UK rap and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Where is the actual hub for... I know there's people doing little bits and pieces, but there's not like a massive platform. And then I realised I ain't got P to pay writers, set up website, I ain't got time. But what I do have is the access, and Sade has the skills, and Beverly is a boss at numbers. So I just thought, why don't we come together to create something special?
That's really amazing. Like, when did this start? When did you start Peppah?
Last year,
Last
you know.
year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's congratulations. You've accomplished a lot. Yeah, that's amazing.
Last year was an interesting one.
No, yeah, you guys are 24 hours.
Yeah, man.
That's really, really cool. I love that. So where did the name Peppah come from?
You know, Peppah, you know,
Sorry?
stew in it.
Yeah.
Okay, like pepper them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pepper, you know,
Exactly.
you have to have the pepper in the stew, otherwise it's bland.
No.
Innit? So we sprinkle.
That is a
And because
word.
We have a
Otherwise it's
focus.
sauce.
Exactly.
It's ketchup.
Because we have a focus on our community, the Black community. Obviously, we do everything, but our focus is like, how can we amplify what's going on in our community in the best way possible? Let's add our pepper to it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you said how you've all got like things that you do individually. Is that what your roles are within Peppah as well?
Pretty much, but we
Yeah.
cross over. We
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'd say.
Actually, no, that's a lie because I don't touch maths. I don't do invoices.
I feel like I'm an all rounder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, cause I ran a business previously, like doing event management for like 16 years. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can do a bit of everything. However, because I'm with these two, I don't have to anymore, which is great. So I just mainly focus on, I would say I do most of the pitching
Yep.
and project management and stuff and everything like that. But I kind of want to.
Liaison.
So again,
Client
client liaisons,
liaison,
yeah. So I deal with the clients, yeah, kind of thing. But I kind of want to do more creative aspects and everything like that. And Bev is definitely
Yeah, finance operations behind the scenes. I don't like being the face of anything. so
Really?
I don't touch socials, even though they want me to. But yeah, creativity here and there. But yeah, mostly finance operations and logistics on the day when the event is, and then running kind of all of that sort of stuff. So yeah.
and do your people, right?
Yeah,
So,
more
yeah.
front facing.
Yeah.
Relationship with clients.
Yeah.
My background is talent management.
Okay.
So I've managed like producer DJs pretty much my entire career. So yeah.
Really like that.
How saturated is that market?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Especially in the UK. It's when you make it London, it's very, very like everybody knows each other.
Okay.
As in the agency market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for example, in our space, like Zoo Nation, who just did Afro Nation. Those are our people, friends. Then there's the Bay Agency. Don't know them personally, but been to loads of their events.
Okay.
And then
Vamp.
Vamp, yeah.
And there are a lot of like corporations who just do events, so they might not actually be an events agency, but because of like popularity or clout or whatever, people kind of like skew towards them.
Yeah.
Or you just have someone at home who's like, oh, I'm good at organising events.
Yeah.
Let me be.
Here I am.
And
But that's
So-
just the black space, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
events,
Exactly.
there's
Yeah,
hundreds.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's just
Yeah.
hundreds of event companies, but there's not many black ones.
Yep.
Yeah, do you know
And
what I
all
mean?
girls.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you say that there's a lot that do what you guys do though, in terms of like
No,
the culture? I mean, obviously
absolutely
not,
not. No, because we're bloody good at what we do.
but Where's the horse? Thank you very much. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
You know, a lot of like businesses, they always try and be like, oh, we want to be, we don't want to be too black. There's that thing like, oh,
Yeah.
even though we're black and we're proud, but oh, let's not try and make it too black. But we actually pride ourselves
your-
that
on
like we
being
don't
black.
mind if we're only
Yeah.
getting black gigs. That's not to say that we would turn down other work, but we have a specific focus on our culture.
Yeah.
Just
And you
one-
can make money in our culture, right? And we
Yeah.
understand
Of
the
course,
audience,
yeah.
right?
Culture
Do you know what I
as
mean?
well.
As well. I feel like we're experts in that. And because we come from like corporate backgrounds as well, it's just having the best of both worlds that we can actually deliver at a high level and speak to the culture at the same time. It's like perfect. Really.
Yeah, Maz even backs it up with like his research and stuff and what he's doing with Translate Culture, trying to teach the community that there is power, there is money, there is coin within our community, and we don't necessarily have to not sell out, but like, why would you spend thousands of pounds with a Facebook ad when you can actually bring it in home, like within our community, we can just do that ourselves. So it's pretty standard, really.
Like you said, you've been in like in the music industry for a while. Yeah. How was the change like from like selling actual physical products into streaming kind of affected this particular industry that you're in now with the agency stuff?
I mean, it's gone from street teams literally flying outside events that you'd actually hire a street team to just straight up Instagram. Like, like the way the music industry, like I remember I started out doing work experience at Atlantic Records, and I used to literally stuff CDs into get the addresses of people who were like fans, stuff the like goodie bags, it would be a CD, and then send that out. Now it's like artwork, Instagram, bish bash bosh. That's it.
But
like
experiential as well. Like, so yeah, it's about creating experiences when you say like,
Yeah.
it's just like, what is the essence of the song, and like making a world and bringing that together and getting like creating fan experiences and that sort of thing. So it's definitely.
So that's harder. Like, I feel like that's harder.
I think it's actually it's harder, but it's more effective because if you think about back in the day, if you loved Beyonce, if you like Beyonce, you wouldn't have anywhere to speak to her apart from writing to that PO box address and hoping that she would get the message. You know what I
And
mean?
some poor kid doing their own experience has to reply.
Pretend. But now, like obviously, I think the first space was like MySpace or something or whatever.
yeah.
Do you know what I
High
mean?
five.
High five.
Yeah, I remember
Exactly.
High Five.
So then it felt like more personal. So like you can actually have an artist that might pre your story, but they might not respond. You see what I mean? So you can actually guarantee that person might see your message.
Yeah.
So with everything that's changed, it's really about how do you make an artist feel like they're your sister or your family
Or you're like
member?
your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it's changed.
So in terms of like promoting yourself, though, yeah, because I feel like back in the day, certain agencies or even management companies, whatever, may not have needed to promote themselves as much as you guys need to today, right? So like, how are you basically making yourself more out there? If that
Well, I
makes sense.
guess like doing things like this, like being here. So thank you for having us. But also like a lot of our work comes from word of mouth. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think when you do a good job, people want to work like people like themselves as well. They want to work with people that they like, and if they like working with you, they're going to tell their friend. Do you know what I mean? So we're just really blessed that we have like a great network between us as well, kind of thing. So it's not necessarily difficult for us to kind of like get new clients and that sort of thing. And most people have generally, in our space anyway, have heard of at least one of us, I think. But I think, I know, social, isn't it? That's the thing. We have to continue to produce reels and post the stories. Dana does an excellent job of.
And networking and going to like just
Going
supporting
to
other people's
events and
events.
stuff.
Like we've got jobs, just off the back of being at an event.
seen.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You have
And
to
just
be
like,
seen, yeah.
and I think pretty much this is why we want to like come on podcasts like this and to say that there is space for people like who are interested in events and like don't think that it's just a club where you have to know someone. There are people that we're here. We exist because we're an
Yeah.
example.
Do you remember like the first event you did?
Wow.
Yeah.
The first thing, what,
As
from
Peppah or as
Peppah
an
or
individual?
individually?
As Peppah.
That's Peppah.
As Peppah
Would have
was
been the exhibition.
Bite Dance.
Bite Dance,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, do you want to get...
They it's a company. So basically, they are the main technology behind TikTok.
Okay.
So they did exhibition style show in Excel. So you know when you go to like exhibitions, they have all their stands and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
it was just well, not just, but we had to build their stand for them, make sure that they had like merch and stuff to give out.
Yeah.
You know when you go to them things like a student fun fair, give out pens and things like that. So that was kind of low-ish level, the beginning. But that came off the back of or I should say, Sade did an event with TikTok again. It was a Black History Month event. October, was that?
Yeah.
2021?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2021. So that came off the back of that. So I'll say that's probably where Peppah was just starting, but it wasn't official, if that makes sense. Because that was the first time I think we all worked together on one project. Oh, well, that's when I started working with you anyway.
Yeah.
That was the first time.
Yeah. But that
so,
was
yeah.
that event in particular was like, as Bev said, Black History Month celebration. But it was like just out of COVID, the first event they done in that year, and it was like 750 people. Like it was a conference that went into party performances, free drinks all night. Like the lift stopped working. It was a 2-day build.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy, but yeah,
It was
it's been
good.
insane. But
So I was just about to ask you, what's been like the most challenging job that you've
Now,
had?
why did all of you sigh?
Most challenging.
challenging.
For me, it would have been Notting Hill Carnival. That was, whoa.
Was it the first one after lockdown?
yeah,
Oof.
yeah,
That was a thing.
yeah.
I can't even explain what it was because we've had bigger events,
Yeah.
but that was just connecting the dots and people that we started working with because we've kind of start basically at the beginning of the year. People that we started working with at the beginning of the year wasn't the people that we ended with. So we had like maybe 6 to 8 weeks to
Just
turn everything
do it,
around.
yeah.
And I think most of the vendors changed close to the end of the project, and it was just like very, very long days.
Is that because businesses were ending or like other things?
They just weren't the people that we should have worked with, basically.
We had to do a switcheroo.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
It sounds very stressful.
Last year
Okay, right.
was on the ropes.
But you
No,
can
last
understand
year
the
was on the
conditions
ropes.
he was working
Yeah.
on. Like even like so with the with Carnival, we designed the float itself. We worked with Ebony Mass, TikTok worked with Ebony Mass, and so we had to consider their people as well. Do you know what I mean? So we was the in-between between TikTok, Ebony Mass and Carnival as well, kind of thing. Plus we had like a hub of where people picked up like their bags in the
influencers and
morning, took pictures and stuff. So we had to build that space like as Carnival is being structured, right?
Okay.
So road closes and do you know what I mean? Restrictions and like how do we get sofas from one end with
And
a
carry- they have
to carry it
20-minute
through
wall?
Carnival.
You're all in each other's
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
It's
It
Yeah.
just insane. It was just absolutely insane. And like, you know, unfortunately we did have a couple of suppliers that we won't mention, but you know, they kind of let us down. We had to find solutions, last minute
day before,
solutions.
we
Yeah,
were going
like
on the road.
it was just insane. But I mean, like the people had an amazing. I think that's the beauty of events. Like if you do it well, no one's gonna know that it's a mistake,
of that
right?
stuff.
That's the thing,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I always find that interesting. I like events. We're like, oh my gosh, I had a great time.
Yeah, and then we
But behind the scenes, the organizer are dying. They just want this day to be done.
No,
Yeah.
I think that was Notting Hill Carnival for me.
Yeah, it was a challenge. And because of the hours as well, right?
Yeah,
Like, it was
but I
just-
thought that. But then Black Tech Fest, we were doing 7 a.m. to midnight, 4 days in
True.
a row, and that was fine.
True.
Feet was sore at the end of it.
No, definitely.
but
Yeah, all the steps.
yeah. Oh, I'll be counting this year.
Yeah.
Definitely be counting this year. So yeah.
What's been the most fun then?
Ooh.
The most fun. Ooh. Maybe translate culture, you know? I think I really liked that one. because we basically it was about homegrown talent.
Okay.
So it was like the best like Black British brand. So things like who did they have? They had Black Eats London. They had
Rocker hair.
Ava Estelle and
yes.
stuff. So it was like they had like a billboard campaign and everything like that they'd done outside the venue, and then inside because they were like showcasing them and with their baby pictures, we turned it into like someone's like front living room in the 90s kind of thing. So we had like the dining tables, and like you had your food in plastic containers, and like our DJ booth was a deep freezer, and we had like the wall unit and all the different pictures and stuff like that. So it was really like nostalgic and just very kind of like, I don't know, that kind of warms my heart because it just reminds me of home.
Cool.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that
And we
was
actually
cool.
got to have fun.
Yes,
We
exactly.
actually got
Yeah.
to chill
Yeah.
and party.
And
a
you had
little bit.
90s babies. We had
90s babies,
Hema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hosted.
Yeah. They had Oja done this competition where you win like free groceries for a year.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was like the crowd just was electric. Like it was just amazing. So
That's
yeah.
so lit.
I
Yeah.
think I'm a music head, so I also love like live shows and stuff. So Major League in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
They always look so lit when I see their shows.
Like they drive us up the wall, but I can't lie. When it comes to vibe, like they're
To be fair,
A1.
Major League Brixton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Typically, how long does it take to like plan an event? Because like when I was looking for your Insta, I saw obviously you kind of wrote the different things that you contributed to each event. Some of them you had the ideation as well and stuff like this. Yeah. Say you was doing everything. Yeah. How long would that take?
A good amount of time.
Yeah, if you want to do it well, it depends on a couple of things, right? So like obviously what their timeline is. Do you know what I mean? I like 3 months.
I was gonna say
3 months is really a really good amount of time to work with.
Okay.
But if you have like say like they have the budget available, you can turn something around in a week. Do you know what I mean? Like you can move fast. We don't want to do that.
We did do it last year.
We did, and we might be doing that soon.
Oh yeah.
But we don't want to do that. But we can. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's about being nimble. I think we're also well versed in what we do, and we have so many people we can call on and work with, that we are able to kind of work in very pressurized situations and kind of like, and also just because of our experience, right? Do you know what I mean? We know in an instant what can work, what can't work, where you're going to waste time and everything like that. And also it's about managing those teams and their expectations as well, kind of thing, and doing it in a way where they trust you, and believe you.
Still happy with the result.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So have you guys all said like goodbye to like your day jobs and all that type of stuff? No.
Absolutely not.
Because we're waiting. Don't make a scene, okay?
No, I've been in my job 11 years this month.
Okay.
Wow.
Straight from uni. But it gives me work-life balance. So a lot of people are just like, oh, you should move to get more money. But my more money is
What
the
you're
other
doing
things on the
every-
side. So I do Peppah, I have my own little thing, and then me and Dana have like Afro Paradise and stuff. So it allows me to do all of that at the same time. But I don't think I like money too much, and I just like my dad would always say, until the walls fall off, I'm gonna keep going. Well, when you said it in the morning, you don't want that life. But yeah, I'll keep going until exactly until I can't. But I've been like that since I was 16. So I'd work like I used to do like M&S, finish M&S, go Arsenal, Wembley. So
No, girl, you've been working.
But lifestyle, man. Pay for the holidays, pay for things. So yeah, I'll keep going until I can't go anymore. But yeah.
I like the sound. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it, but I like the sound of the Afro Paradise.
Yeah.
What's Afro Paradise?
Let me not lie, it's raves, boy. It's raves. Let me not lie. It's raves. We're outside, like. I think, so it's a collective of us. There's 5 of us, 2 DJs and 3 girls, the brains. And we put on dope day parties. As well, we have an annual New Year's Eve party in Ghana. And we
Which
see
is the best. It's just
it's a madness.
so lit.
Yeah.
Last year was absolutely crazy. We had like maybe like 1,200 people come down.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's the biggest earner for us. But yeah, we normally do like events during the summer. We usually do it at Pitch Stratford, but now that's closed down.
So, is it closed down?
Yeah. they're building
I was
flats.
talking about it the other day.
Yeah, they're building
that's
flats,
sad.
So exactly.
It's a good venue.
Exactly.
It's a good venue.
So yeah. We've got an event on Sunday at Shoreditch.
Please come
down.
through.
We've got
Nice.
Spark
Okay.
free.
It's free.
Okay, people, you heard that?
Um,
Time and that?
Yeah. Oh, 5 till
5 till
10:30.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
So yeah.
Love a day party, I do. I'm at bed by midnight.
Yeah.
That is my bag.
Yeah.
I love it. So
No-
with Peppah,
sorry,
go
no,
on.
no, you go.
I was gonna say with Peppah, is it just 3 of you, or do you have like other people that you work with as well outside of
core
clients
team.
and stuff?
Yeah, we bring people in when as and when we need them.
Okay.
But essentially, it's
We're
just
co-founders.
you.
We're all
Yeah.
co-founding.
Okay. So I saw on your Instagram as well, you were at Afro Nation,
Yes.
and so you went Afro Nation,
Yes.
and you said about like your client. So like, what is
Okay.
what is a client to you guys? Like, what's,
Okay.
what's that?
So we represent multiple talent. So
Okay.
predominantly DJs.
Okay.
So past and present, Jules, Neptizzle,
Oh yeah, bad boy DJs. Yeah.
Mercedes Benson,
Oh yes.
Skylar. So I actually went out with Mercedes this year. So we look after her her African presence.
Okay.
So we wanted to do Afro Nation this year, so we
Yeah.
went out. She shelled. She did an incredible set.
Sick.
Went out, danced with Eddie Caddy and Shopsy on stage.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, she just delivered a really, really good set. So that's why Peppah was out in Afro Nation.
Okay. So with your clients, when you say so it's like a manager position that you have.
Yes.
Okay.
So there is the management, and
Yeah.
then there's ad hoc projects. So she
Okay.
might say, "Oh, actually, I want to put an event together. Can you do this?" Or
Okay.
"Can you find me bookings?" So
Yeah.
we double up wherever there is a gap.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So some talent don't need management. They just
Yeah,
need somebody
like-
to kind of guide them. So we kind of fill in the gaps of what's
Okay.
missing. So yeah, so Mercedes has multiple people working across her brand.
Okay.
But certainly when it comes to that, for like bookings across the continent,
Yeah.
and event side, that's where we come.
You guys come in. Okay. What other clients do you have?
Well, Skylar actually. Skylar's our newest
Oh, sick.
addition. To the family. She is an incredible DJ. She is I think she's 21. Yes, she's 21.
Oh, sick.
She specializes in amapiano.
Oh, nice.
And she's also WizKid's in-law. Well, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so she's incredible. She's the new gen.
Yes.
There's something about the new gen that I really, really
They're
respect.
so fearless.
Energy.
They just go get even Mercedes. Like Mercedes was a new gen when I kind of met her.
Yeah.
And it's that audacity, because I have been managing Neptizzle from 2012, I think, even before
I
that.
was gonna say like 9.
9, and the way the
Yeah.
DJ game has changed.
It's changed so much,
You really
yeah.
have to prove yourself. Like you
Yeah.
can't just rock up to any event and expect to be put on the lineup. You have to show what you can
Why
do.
you should be on the
But
lineup.
the new gen, Mercedes was just like, I'm gonna be a DJ. I said, okay, but where's your accolades? Like, I just want to enjoy it. And to me, I learned so much from her, because I was just
Yeah.
like, she said she was gonna do it. She bought herself decks.
And here
She
she
practiced, hollered at Neptizzle to teach, did classes, and her first gig was actually Lovebox.
Oh, wow.
But you see, like there is, but the
That
older
drive
lot
is-
had
yeah.
never kind of experienced that before. So she was
Yeah.
doing festivals way before like a lot of the older lot had done. Not because they're not good, but just because
I feel like it's a difference
Yeah.
in generation,
So
difference
social
in
media,
mindset.
she
Yeah.
positioned herself as an influencer.
We glorify struggle.
Exactly.
A lot.
Exactly. So you can get gigs. You can get paid ridiculous amounts of money simply because not even just because you're a DJ, but because of the package that you bring. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, people like Mercedes, Skylar, like I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh, earlier you mentioned about being proud in your blackness, right? Why?
That's his brand, as you can tell.
Pro-black.
Oh, okay.
Pro-black
Yeah.
activist.
I was gonna ask
Yes.
you, like,
Pro-black
Yeah.
why is that basically important for you to kind of put it out there as like we're black business, we're for black people, obviously for everybody else, but you know what I'm saying? Why is that a thing for you guys?
Yeah, I don't know any other way. I'll be honest with you. I actually really don't.
Wait, give me hope.
I mean, honestly, honestly, like when I started my first business, like I done that because when I came out of uni, it was so difficult for me to find a job because I'm dyslexic. So back then you had to, like, if you wanted to go in a graduate program, you had to do like these tests and stuff. And I kept on failing. I knew I was more intelligent than this test. You know what I mean? So it was just like that kind of really just put me off. I was just like, why am I even trying to go down this path? Let me just try and build something myself. And I just think there's just so much. It's not even just about making money. There's just so much talent. There's so much beauty in our community. And I just reject this idea that we can't do this. Like, I reject the idea that we're not good at building businesses, that we don't provide good services. Like, I reject all of that. And I just feel like you have to lead by example. Do you know what I mean? So it just is. And like, yeah, I anyone that tells me that you can't work with black people, I'm just like, well, we're doing it. Yeah. Exactly. We're doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Not all.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's calibers. We do have this back and forth. There are calibers. But yeah, essentially. Yeah.
I was going to ask, actually, but you just reminded me, thank you. It's like, how do you like navigate like difficult clients? Because sometimes, obviously...
I run. I leave it to them.
We all have different ways of we all have our individual ways of kind of handling it. But I think because I'm people facing, I pretty much kind of take that on. But it depends on what the end goal is and what our achieve. Like Peppah as a company has to decide what are we getting out of it. Okay. So there's certain gigs that we might take on, not because we necessarily.
But
you know what I mean, but maybe the back, yeah. Or actually, we'll take this on because we see that it benefits us in other ways, not just money. Do you see what I mean? So, so we will deal with. We decide how much shit we're gonna take.
You're gonna tolerate.
We're gonna tolerate based on what the client is giving us.
Have you ever had a client where you're like, the bag is good, but I can't put myself. I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, absolutely. We've fired clients before. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to work. You fire clients. You don't have to work everybody.
I said, baby.
No.
Yeah, you walked away.
We've walked away. We've definitely because the thing is, at the end of the day, there has to be a respect there. Do you know what I mean? It works both ways. Do you know what I mean? Like we're getting something from you, you're getting something from us. You know, so like I think it's just like as long as you have your integrity intact and everything like that, like you shouldn't have to something that you're creating yourself. You shouldn't have to suffer. Like why?
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense. Like so.
And sometimes the budgets are not budgeting.
They're not.
For all the stress.
Exactly.
You pay these bills.
But yeah, I love a good email though. I can't lie.
Oh, I love it.
I love.
As per my last.
That is my bag.
I think I'm quite skilled in that area. I love a good passive aggressive email.
Yeah. So where do you guys kind of see Peppah being like in the next 5 to 10 years?
So I think, well, obviously we're trying to grow. Do you know what I mean? We're trying to grow our client base. We're trying to grow our team. I think what we're trying to build is legacy. So we want to be able to create a company where people can come and work for us essentially forever if they want to. Do you know what I mean? So they're within, and they can show up and be themselves. They don't have to hide. They don't have to mask. They can just be themselves. And also like, you know, just doing things in our own lane. And I don't think it's, I just don't think it's complicated. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Just living your truest self and doing what you love. Yeah.
I love it, man.
I love that.
I would hire you.
Thank you.
Well, obviously, we've got something that we do with all our guests. So you have to tell us something that nobody else knows about you lot.
Oh, God.
I know as a collective, each.
Oh, God.
I thought about
Did you think about it?
I went to bed thinking about it.
And I was just like, I don't know. Okay. Just don't, everything I can think of is just so embarrassing.
It doesn't have to be serious. It could be
like a hobby that no one knows you have.
Oh, okay.
Any pleasure or something.
I think there's something that we both do which
Oh.
is
Dana's like, "Now, why am I in it?"
yeah, it's not too deep. It's not too deep. But Dana and I both like.
Can you trust me? What did you do?
I don't trust you right now.
Like, it's not too deep in this day and age, but I think before it was just like pimple popping videos. Like,
Okay.
And I watch it
for hours.
Like,
yeah.
I like to like a white head coming out or like black head.
Mate.
Yeah, I love it.
But honestly,
I find it so intriguing.
seriously, I can watch it for hours.
Yeah.
Hours and hours. Yeah. It's a bit random.
That was Shadi's on the way. Then I used to go.
I have no idea.
No, so you went to bed thinking about this.
No, literally.
I thought you were in bed.
No. Everyone knows everything. Well, I don't know. I know, you go first.
I mean, it's not. I've just got a fascination for like morbid things. I know it's really
This is
bad.
dark.
Mad.
Morbid how? Give us an example.
I think it's partly to do with my ADHD. To be fair,
What's an example? Take us there.
like a decomposing body.
Oh, mate.
Sorry, my scalp is itchy.
No.
What do you mean? That you want to watch it?
No, I don't want to
Do
watch
we
it.
do like time lapses of that?
No.
This
is
ain't me.
For example,
That'd be so cool to watch.
no. For example, like you see this whole submarine thing, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I now went down a rabbit hole and had to research the Titanic again, and had to think about like, oh my God, they jumped off the boat. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does the death look like from a sea perspective? Because how the body decomposes would be different to a body on land.
Yes,
And then
apparently
the
it's
whole
quicker,
rigor this, you know what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? Like, how does that work in the sea? And then when the animals come and yam off the skin,
Not
like,
yam
you know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
could have had a little nibble.
I know it's morbid, but I'm so interested. Like,
Okay,
I'm
no,
just,
I hear that.
do you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm shouting about. Well, I'm shouting about it now, but sometimes you catch me 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning blinking.
Just
like,
just googling stuff.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
That
work
is
with
actually
special
interesting
people.
because I have a fascination about like I can't just certain things I can't just leave it there. Like the information you're giving me cannot just be enough for me to.
Then I
doesn't
have to
hold
share.
me. I have to go
share
and
it.
find out. Yeah.
Like I have to share. Like why is there boots and there's no bones? Like what happened? Like what happened to the skin?
That is
And
so
then
true.
when the animal eats it,
I'm so interested by something.
do you know what I mean? Because then I can make life choices. Because then it means
Go on.
I'm gonna be a vegan because the fishes might have yam off the body, and therefore,
You're a vegan.
do you see what I mean? Even though I'm not a vegan yet, but these are the things that I have to think about.
We're not doing this.
We'll get you
Do
there.
you see what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
I mean,
Love a prawn too much to be vegan. I can't think of anything.
Nothing at all, babe.
Beverly,
Everyone knows everything.
Dig deep.
I wear everything
Dig
like
deep.
outside. Like,
Okay, what's your favorite food when you go back home?
oh, banku and tilapia. I'll call it banks. Banku and tilapia. Yeah, banku and tilapia, but that's everyone knows that.
Everyone knows.
is it tilapia like fried or is it steamed?
It depends. Grilled, steamed.
Okay.
I think 9 times out of 10 though is grilled.
Okay.
What else? I can't think of anything. Oh, I love J Hus.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to his concert in Manchester.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's a good question. Actually, who's your dream client? Someone you would want to work with.
I know you're gonna say.
Beyonce
And it is, to be fair.
and Jay-Z. Both
Oh,
of them.
really?
I want to work for the Carters.
Love that.
Yeah. Or with, actually.
With
Yeah.
Dream client.
it'd be a company. It doesn't have to be someone.
Company. No, mine will probably be in music though. It probably would be someone like J Hus.
That'd be lit.
Yeah, that would be.
I feel like we're kind of living in the dream at the moment for me, because we're working for. We've worked with small entities, but also major. So we can say we've worked with Sony, we've worked, but with individual. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like Beyonce's not far off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it is far,
She
but it's
isn't,
not
but
far
she
off.
isn't. No, yeah.
We're in the room basically.
Yeah.
We know the people
Bloody
that could
hope
make it
so.
happen.
That could make it happen.
Yeah, I'd love to do like a festival. So like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Fest or with
Oh,
like
yeah.
dope artists, you see.
That'd be
So I'd say
sick.
like in this festival scene, like a whole from beginning to end,
Yeah.
ideation, guest experience, and all of that for a festival.
Yeah.
So
That'd be dope.
That'd be
yeah,
lit.
it's not far away.
Well,
but-
amen
Amen
to
to
all of
that.
that. Amen
Right.
to all of that.
Thank you.
But how do you navigate conflict between you?
Between us.
Call Gina. She knows everybody.
How do we deal with conflict?
Conversations. I
Yeah.
guess. Well, I'm the HR manager.
So then through both.
Are you? Well, what if you're the
Yeah.
conflict
No,
about you
because
though? How does that work?
I'm not conflict.
You're
She's
not?
not.
Okay,
I'm
so you're
too calm. Like,
Okay.
there's certain things I'll just look and be like, okay, cool, what's going on here? Like, this didn't need to get to where it needed to get to. So I'll just talk to A,
To
B,
be.
Yeah.
what we saying? Y'all need to sort it out at some point.
Yeah.
Because
We got work to do.
we're
Yeah,
not getting anywhere.
I'm a venter.
Um,
I have to vent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What's Dana? What's your role?
My role.
No, like she's the HR. She likes to vent. What are you like in conflict? Are you just like okay?
I like to reason.
Okay.
But I can but timing is a problem for me.
yeah.
What do you mean?
Timing is a problem for me. So sometimes I might need to do it right there and then.
Oh, okay.
But it's not the right time.
It's not the right time. Okay,
Because I haven't read the room. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, but I need to. I can't function if I know that there's something going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm scary then. Because I function the heck out of a function.
I mean, so could I though.
Yeah, I
To
would
be
just-
fair, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably the most problematic. Probably.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And you're the Nigerian one.
I am.
You are such a sellout.
But the thing is,
You Nigerian as well.
oh, you Nigerian?
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Us
he's not.
Ghanaians.
Okay.
He's Ghanaian adjacent. He's a beg. That's what he is. Okay. He's,
Mate.
no.
No, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes out of chaos comes, triumph and progress and all them kind
Also, I
of
think
things.
if you've done, I always say, if you've done something a certain way for a very long time, unless somebody explains to you why I would like to do it a different way, then T is just like,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Really
you for
appreciate
having
it. Wish you
us.
so much great, amazing achievements to come.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
And yeah. Oh wait,
No, we
your
didn't get life
socials.
lessons. We didn't get the biggest life lesson.
Oh yeah, wait, bigger life.
We don't concentrate.
you're talking about concentrating.
Exactly.
Biggest life lesson.
In this life, fear meant. No, I'm joking.
I mean,
Don't put no horse for that rubbish.
that is facts.
I think for me, it would be put yourself first.
I like that
I
one.
think we're especially in the community, in our community, we're taught to like serve, like
everybody
and
else.
just look after your auntie, look after your. But I hear it, but there is the importance of looking after yourself should be number one, because how can you pour into other people's cups if there's
Yours is empty.
empty?
That's a word. I live by that.
I'm going to say what is meant for you will not pass you. I think sometimes, especially when you run your own business, it's just sometimes you might not win every pitch, you might not get everything, do you know what I mean? But you can't take it personally. You have to just keep pushing on and keep going, really. Yeah.
Mine's a bit more brutal, I guess.
Are we surprised?
I'd say probably no pain, no gain. I think if something not painful, like hurting you, but if you don't push yourself outside your comfort zone, then the gain is not as much. My dad always taught me and my brother that from young. So yeah, stick by it. No pain, no gain. Yeah.
Love it.
So yeah.
Can you let us know your socials, please? So for Peppah and for your individual. Beverly.
Peppah is We Are Peppah on Instagram. My personal one is Love Mavunga.
Love it.
Mine is Sade Salami Official.
Mine is B_.
Yours and that's like, if I must.
But mine's private. They're open, so I'm transitioning. But I have to ask.
You have to do things at
You'll be uncomfortable.
I have to ask for permission, innit? So once I get the permission, then we'll open it. Maybe later on in the year.
Do you want to finish that?
Yeah, like you said, the underscore. She said, well, if you find it, you find it.
_Ailey, AELLY. You probably see me tagged on one of their pages or Gina's page. To be fair, that's how I get followers. So yeah,
love it.
So
Well, we got.
you have to get permission from
my said partner.
All right.
He's open.
Fiance, not part of fiance.
Is that what they call them?
Yes.
Is that what it?
Fiance. Yeah, aka yeah.
I cannot deal. Are we doing headlines next? Yeah. Okay, let's get into our next headlines.
No.
It's not for a friend, but I thought so.
Oh, pardon me.
Wait.
Guys, to kindly help us
No
with
worries.
this dilemma.
Oh yeah, sure. I
So,
love a
hold on a
dilemma.
second. Let me just find it. So can you read it? Because I can't scroll. Do you do it? Because you're really sighing heavy. Do you want to do it?
It's really long.
It is long, isn't it? Do half and I'll do that half.
So, my dilemma is a serious one, and I really don't know what to do. I just turned 28. My girlfriend is 25. She's 5 months pregnant now. We are having a child. For context, 2 years ago, she started smoking weed in the lockdown period. I don't have any issues or problems with smoking. Me, myself, I was a social weed smoker. However, meeting her as a non-smoker to now my girlfriend wanting to buy £20 worth of weed a week still baffles me, but cool. So we found out she's pregnant. She knows how much I love to have a child, and she knows I'm very protective. I believed we were the same, so she agreed to stop smoking weed whilst pregnant. In the second month, I came to see her and saw she was still smoking weed. This really broke my heart, honestly, because I felt she was putting my child's health at risk. I spoke to her, we had a long chat, we looked at the effects weed smoking may have on the baby, mental health issues later in life, etc., and she promised to stop. A few weeks later, I come to find out she's still smoking weed. She knows how upset I am. She cried as well. For me, I'm not happy with the situation at all. But it's not my body to tell her what not to do and what to do. But this is affecting my son or daughter. I honestly don't know what to do, and this ordeal made me see her in a different light. I'm really considering if I want to be with her. But while she's having the baby, I don't want to dump these thoughts on her. Please, I need some help and advice. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I can't keep watching her hurt my child. I know some people say smoking is not that bad whilst pregnant, but for me, I can't let it be my child's story. If there's any advice you can give, it would be nice from a different perspective. Also, is it the right thing to do to tell her I'm considering if I want to be with you or have any more children?
Yes, she's irresponsible. I was gonna try and keep it in. I can't. She's responsible. she's very responsible, and I would let her know like, yeah, this is the situation. I was gonna say you snitch to the doctor at your next doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
Like, just out of curiosity, doc. Is it okay to smoke whilst
It
you know
would be
what I
okay.
mean?
She is smoking, but she could be addicted.
And she knows.
Yeah,
what
she
she's
needs
doing
help.
Yes,
Yes.
but I think that's the issue though, because I think a lot of people that smoke weed are addicted, but they don't know they're addicted.
Yes.
And this is exhibit A. But when you're pregnant, because I've had a lot of women who were who smoked before pregnancy, didn't know how to quit. But then knowing that they were pregnant, that's actually what helped them quit.
Yeah.
And they never smoked after.
Oh, again, yeah.
So even pregnancy wasn't the wake up call.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
It is, but if you're addicted or it's a vice in your life or it's something that you depend on, because I'm assuming her smoking weed brings out things like makes her more relaxed or or less anxious or whatever. So I think she's still dependent, and obviously whilst you're pregnant, your hormones, so she's using that to help her maybe
Cope with whatever it is.
But I would say she's probably addicted and she needs therapy to get away from
But
that.
There's bare people that are addicted to weed though.
Yeah.
They're not
Are they
pregnant.
pregnant?
They stop
5 months
smoking.
pregnant.
They stop smoking when they're pregnant.
Yeah, keep.
Yeah,
that's the thing though. But
That's what I'm
she's
saying. So
going.
hers is
Yeah.
at another level.
So I'm saying the addiction, saying she's addicted to weed, like no
Right.
shit, but that's not enough. There's bare people that are addicted to weed.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
that drink
absolutely. No, but
alcohol,
absolutely.
cigarettes. There's people
Because-
that stop smoking. Nicotine's even harder. There's people that stop
Yeah.
smoking
Yeah,
during their
yeah,
pregnancies,
Yeah.
and they'll just go back, stop drinking.
Yeah.
Like so, it's the
Yeah.
vices that everybody's got. Saying oh she's addicted, there's not enough. There's bare people that
But
would
the
afford
fact that
that.
she's pregnant and she's still, it's not enough for her to stop.
We're giving her
It's a
grace.
high level.
Because I think,
Basically.
yeah, 'cause I feel like the addiction is, this is what I think he should do. I think he should have a conversation with her first and be like, what is it that, why do you keep smoking?
Yeah.
Because really and truly, it's a form of escape. Her addiction to it, even in pregnancy, is a form of escape.
It is an addiction, but all
So
that
why?
stuff doesn't matter because all you need to weigh up is the health implications to the child. Is your addiction or your your thing, is it worth more to you than having a healthy child, isn't it?
Well, you know, like
that's
you
the only
can't-
question you need to
no,
ask yourself.
wait,
No,
you know,
they've already had a conversation.
Yeah,
They've already had a
logic.
conversation about that.
Yeah, that's
I
a
was
logical
gonna say, your
conversation. But you can't reason with somebody logically who is an addict.
No, does your music
She needs
moving like
she
this is
needs an
crack or something? This is
alternative.
weed. What do
Yeah,
you mean
but
it's
she
not enough for a
needs-
conversation?
But you
can't,
could be addicted to alcohol. You could be addicted to a lot of things. But in
Yeah,
her
but if it's
case-
gonna hurt the baby,
No, but
doesn't
no,
care
but
at
it's
this
not.
point.
Yeah.
that's what you need to ascertain. That's what you need. That's what you need to. This is what you need to ascertain whether she cares or
about
not.
the effects of weed smoking already. So they've had that conversation. So she's seen the results. She doesn't care.
She doesn't care.
She's
So
just
you need to
doing
get
it
to the
more.
root of why
so
she's
either
doing
she
it.
doesn't care or she's addicted. We're giving her grace, so we're saying that she's addicted.
addicted,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But she
'Cause
might just not
not
care.
care.
Do you know what I mean? But so if that's the case, yes, I'm going to snitch you to the doctor for real.
Because I
Kind of
really
it.
think, I really feel like, because like you said, there's people who are addicted to weed, then they get pregnant and they stop. For you to not stop, this one
something's wrong.
is beyond
Past-
addiction at this
yeah,
point.
whatever it
so
is,
what he needs to do is have a conversation with her about like, what is it you're trying to like escape from? What is it? And if we can tackle that issue, she might not
And
need to be so
maybe-
reliant on the weed. And because really and truly, nothing's gonna. She doesn't care. Like
An
you can tell her all the
alternative.
effects is gonna happen. It's not gonna make a difference. So you need to get to the root problem of what is it? Is she depressed? What is going on? And then when you have that root issue, then you can tackle that, and then that will not spill over to the weed.
Yeah, because even if you snitch to the doctor, she might be
She
like,
not make a difference. You
Strong.
can't shame
No,
this
but, the
over
thing
here.
is, but there might be other consequences there. Do you know what I mean? Because she
Yeah,
could
my
be
child might
seen
get
as
taken
a
away.
figure. Yeah, exactly.
Don't say she's
There's
doctor.
some real consequences. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you need to have a conversation and find out why it is that she's smoking. Like, there is a reason why it's doing something for her. So find out what it's doing for her, and then from that we can then deal with that issue. And the prayer is by dealing with that issue, that will steer her clear of the weed.
hopefully.
She needs an alternative
Yeah,
and a hobby.
and a hobby.
Yeah.
She just don't care. She's taking the piss. I've seen bare girls that smoke weed stop smoking during their pregnancy.
Oh, yeah. And then
Loads
go
of
straight
people.
back.
So it's not as difficult. Everybody's
hard, though.
everybody's
everyone's
different.
different,
Yeah,
though.
but it's not
That's
as
the
difficult.
thing.
You can't
as
say
making
you
it.
can't say
I
it's
can.
not as difficult.
I
I
can.
mean, you can
But
say
everyone's
it, but it doesn't
different,
mean anything.
Everybody
But-
is different. It is not as difficult. It is not as difficult as you are making out.
Everyone's different.
No, to everybody.
No, because then we'll have no addicts in the world.
Forget the addict.
We would have- no, but we wouldn't have a dilemma.
Stop treating
If
weed
it was easy,
like
we wouldn't
it's
have a
crack.
dilemma.
Stop treating the weed like
It
this
is
is
crack to
crack
some people.
or
No, but it
heroin.
is crack to
It
some
could be
Some
the same, so it could be
people,
alcohol.
it is.
I grew up in the
It's
street
crack
in the
to
hood.
some
Everybody
people.
smokes weed. I've watched them stop.
You're the only person.
No, what I'm trying to say is I've seen too many
Yeah, but she
examples. I'm not.
hasn't
I'm not
yeah.
making it up.
She hasn't stopped.
So she's taking the piss.
Okay, what's your
She
advice to
might
him?
be.
Huh?
What do you want him to? What's your advice to
I
him?
don't know advice for him. I just leave her, man.
Have you?
I just leave her, man.
So he wrote into the show and said, "I need some advice," and your advice is just leave him.
Look, she ain't got
It
no
might be the
listen to me. If
consequence
she don't
to
want
her
to listen, if she don't want to
actions.
listen to
It
me,
might be.
I'll just take myself out of this equation.
Yeah.
If you don't want to listen to me, I'll take myself out of this equation. I'll go find a new girl and make a whole new baby. Yeah,
Whoa,
allow me.
whoa.
Allow me.
Because I hear it though.
But to be
what-
fair,
what
it's-
she's saying.
Consequences to action.
Yeah, I'm a man. I've got the luxury of doing it. I could do
Okay.
that. I'll
Yes.
go and find
Brute
brute force.
Brute force.
So
I'll
she's
go and make
saying,
a whole new
I'm
baby.
not gonna give my child the best start in life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
she
think
is.
that's worthy
she
of a
must be
breakup.
tapped.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
should
whether
say
the
to
breakup,
her.
but
I think he should say to her, like,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you if you don't stop.
That's what I
And
But
she's
you know,
saying
it's
from a
so-
man's perspective, it's also hard because he's even trying
That's
to.
He sounds
Yeah.
caring
Do you know what I
because he
mean? Like,
actually
it's her
caring.
body
asked
and
at
all of
different
that.
stages.
Yeah.
Well,
Some
African
people
man.
would have.
he's
Exactly. That's what I
he's
was
caring. But
thinking.
you know, I just feel like
Give me the baby, I'm great myself.
I feel like she's got something going on. And I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that as a partner who cares about his child and whatever, and then even if she stops smoking weed, whatever issue might be there, she might give birth to the child and start smoking weed again.
Yeah.
Your kid is still going to be around the weed.
Yeah.
So until you sort out what, like, he sounds like a caring partner.
Exactly, that's
So
what I'm
take
saying,
that
yeah.
care and find out and use it to figure out what it is that's wrong with her and help her with it. You can't just, I don't think it's fair to just,
Leave her.
like, obviously she's doing what she's doing, but there's a reason for that. So I'm giving her grace in not necessarily like judging her so harshly. There's a reason why. And I think as a partner who that's the mother of your child, I think it's your responsibility to try and figure out what it is and help her where you can and move from there.
Yeah, no, agreed.
All the best. Congratulations, though.
Yeah.
Babies are a blessing to he who wants them. All right. Well, you guys can always send your dilemmas in. The number is 075-6484-1073. Or if you want to email and send a voice note, all that great stuff, the email address is tdasubmissions@thenewblack.com. Let us know if you're sort of asking for a friend or sis, what would you do? And let's get into our next headlines. 28, she's 25.
Mm-hmm.
All
It's a
right.
baby.
Yeah, man. So our next headline, this is a bit of a long one, yeah, so please bear with me. But it's important for the context, right? So basically, a hearing was told that a man died while in his car with a nurse he was having a secret relationship with. So Penelope Williams didn't call an ambulance after his collapse in a vehicle, right, at Wrexham's Spire Hospital. He died of heart failure and chronic kidney disease in January of 2022. So Mrs. Williams, who worked for Betsy Caldwell Health Board, was struck off by the Nursing and Midwifery Council for bringing the profession into disrepute. The hearing was told that the man, known only as patient A, was found unresponsive in the back of his car with his trousers down. He had multiple health conditions, that's what the hearing was told, and received treatment in the unit where Mrs. Williams worked. On that night, Mrs. Williams had gone to the home of a colleague before meeting with patient A. Just before midnight, her co-worker took a call from her. She was crying and distressed and asking for help, right? That's what the panel heard. After telling them someone had died, Mrs. Williams was advised to call the ambulance, but she didn't, right? When the colleague arrived at the car park, they then called the 999 on finding patient A partially clothed and unresponsive. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Mrs. Williams initially told the police and the paramedic that she had gone to the car park after patient A messaged her saying he was unwell. The next day, she then admitted to the police that she had been in a sexual relationship with this guy. But in February, she denied this to the health board officials. She said that they had sat in the back of the car for like 30 to 45 minutes just talking before patient A started groaning and suddenly died. By May disciplinary hearing, Mrs. Williams admitted both the relationship as well and also about not calling the ambulance. And that's what basically got her sacked. So long story short, if that wasn't clear, she was dating basically one of the people that she was meant to be looking after in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And obviously they went to the back of his car to engage in some shenanigans, right?
Coitus.
There you go. And obviously the guy, something's happened to him and he's died, but obviously she's thinking about her profession. So she's not called no ambulance, nothing.
Imagine.
She's called up one of her co-workers to be like, oh, yeah, look what's happened to this guy. Waiting for the co-worker to come. Co-worker's like, yo, what are you doing? Call ambulance. Ambulances come, and obviously they declared that this guy dead.
Was she working at the time? Was she on a shift?
I'm not too sure she was on shift at the time.
Mad.
That's panic though.
Yeah. But still, like,
She should have
No,
just
but
called
that's the thing though,
ambulance.
because you
life
never
is more
know.
important, man.
She panicked.
Should have called ambulance,
No,
man.
you
Instead of your
can't.
co-worker.
Your profession is to
To
prevent
keep people
this.
alive.
Do you know what I mean?
Even the lie she told
you-
the co-worker, she could have told them after if he survived.
Yeah.
No, but you know that's the whole point of panicking. It's not logical.
All right.
That's scary though. So now she's facing jail time.
I'm not too sure yet.
Because of enjoyment.
Yeah, because it's unprofessional and he died, didn't it? Actually, yeah. Why am I going to jail because he died? Sorry. That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
she's been sacked anyway.
No,
Yeah,
she's
she
trying to
should be.
prevent.
I saw that
Yeah,
coming.
she
yeah.
should
That's what she's trying to prevent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah.
next headline takes us to controversial subject of web pornography, which apparently could be subject to tighter rules in the UK, putting it on par with films on DVDs under government plans to review regulation of the online adult content industry. Improving children's education about the harm caused by pornography will also be among the issues that will be tackled by that review. The study will investigate gaps in the regulatory framework, including the different regimes for offline and online material. The British Board of Film Classification, of BBFC, is the main regulator of pornography in the UK, but it does not have online powers and has told MPs that pornographic content would refuse, and has told MPs that pornographic content it would refuse to classify is freely accessible online. The BBFC classifies adult content as 18 or R18, with the latter banned from mainstream TV and available in licensed sex shops only. The forthcoming online safety bill does not propose the BBFC-style ratings regime for online pornography, but will introduce tough age checking requirements for sites that show adult material. The review will also consider how children are informed about the harms caused by pornography by looking at what more can be done to provide children with the right information and resources. And the last headline takes us to Brighton, where a man has been charged with 11 terrorism-related offences. Yep. Mason Reynolds was 18, you know.
He's 18?
Yeah. He was arrested on 27th of June and is due to appear at Westminster Magistrates Court later on Tuesday, later today. So the charges against him are linked to an extreme right-wing ideology. That's what the counter-terrorism police are saying. But among the charges are 5 counts of collecting information which could be useful to a person committing or preparing an act of terrorism. He's also charged with 5 counts of dissemination of terrorist publications and a further count of possessing an article for the purpose of terrorism. The investigation which led to his arrest was carried out by the counter-terrorism police in South East Unit. And that's it for the headlines. And it's again time to pay them bills.
Let's get into the reaction.
Welcome to the reaction. Not much sports news today.
It's a shame.
Ain't gonna hear me complain. First story is Steven Gerrard, ex-Liverpool midfielder. He's been named the manager of the Saudi Pro League team Al-Ettifaq. Is that what it's called? Can't keep up with these.
Ettifaq. It was not that hard.
Ettifaq.
Al-Ettifaq.
Yeah, it's got 3 T's in it. Come on, man. Brother, it could have been anything. It could have been anything. So yeah, former England Liverpool midfielder Steven Gerrard has been named manager of Saudi Arabian side Out Ere. The 43-year-old said in June he'd been invited over to the country to look at a potential offer, but that he would not be taking it up. Without a doubt, Gerrard's presence will be an addition and a quantum leap to our league, said Khalid Al-Dabal, the club's chairman. Gerrard has signed a 2-year contract with the Saudi club. Al-Ettifaq were 7th in the 16-man Saudi Pro League last season, finishing 35 points behind champions Al-Ittihad. Al-Ittihad. That's the same thing. That's the same... Anyway.
You're having a hard time.
Yep, and Gerrard's been out of work since he got sacked by Aston Villa in October last year. And the former England midfielder's move to Saudi Arabia follows a summer of heavy investment by the Pro League clubs, as several top European players have joined Manchester United's Cristiano Ronaldo in the Middle East. In other news, no, it's still football news, but we're going over to Germany. Bayern Munich ain't giving up on trying to sign Harry Kane. So they want him.
Okay.
Yeah, they want him. They're saying Bayern Munich are not giving up on trying to sign Harry Kane from Tottenham, according to Sky in Germany. Our colleagues in Europe are reporting that the Bayern board member Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is leading the pursuit of the 29-year-old who has entered the final year of his Spurs contract. Bayern are said to be trying to decipher Tottenham's willingness to sell Kane this summer or not, and the German champions want to make another offer. Tottenham insists Kane is not for sale, and the club would not welcome any bids for the England captain. The club also insists they have not received an initial bid for Kane despite reports in Europe that one was made. Sky Germany are also reporting that Bayern believe Kane wants to join them over any other club if he is allowed to leave this summer. That is lies. And in our last piece of news, Daryll Neita beats Dina Asher-Smith. So Neita won the women's 200 metres ahead of fellow Briton Dina Asher-Smith at a Wet Diamond League event in Stockholm. Neita followed her second place in the 100 metres in Lausanne with a winning time of 22.50 seconds, and Asher-Smith 22.508, completed the British 1-2. And that is the end of our sports news. Let's get into Dina Asher. I ain't even got a Dina Asher, you know. Let me be honest with you. I don't like none of these stuff.
Do you like him?
No, not particularly. Have you seen... I saw some guy, I think it was yesterday, yeah. Have you seen that guy that got released from jail?
And he handed himself in?
Well, he's been changing his life. They messed up his papers. He's not supposed to be a thing, innit? So he's had to go hand himself in and all that.
He looks like a PT.
He's a PT. Check his Instagram, Brent. It's Glow Fitness UK. GLO Fitness
Sad,
UK.
He was wrongly released.
He was wrongly released. Yeah.
And he went back.
He's been out for 13 months. Yeah. He's been changing his life. I'm looking on his page. I'm seeing having talks, talking about being in custody, helped him getting into fitness, and he seems like he's.
Yeah.
He seems like he's on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
He's trying to talk to people and help people make the right things. He's here. He's in shape. He's working out and these things. Look, press that one in the middle, Brent. You see him having talks and that, talking about like while he was in custody.
I really got into the fitness thing. Physically, it helped me out. I started to like the way I was looking, working out. I was skinny, tall. They called me lanky, but I put all my anger. I had a lot of anger inside me, and I put it into the gym. Do you know what I'm saying? So I started working out, and that since I've come out, I'm trying to build my fitness.
Well, I can't say I was looking.
Since I've
like I said, he seems like a He seems like a nice fella. You get me? I'm trying to say, like he's on a redemption path. You get me? Trying to get his life together and thing. They've told him they made a mistake, man. They made a mistake with his release papers. He's not supposed to be outside. You get me? So that's what they said. So he's gone to hand himself in. What did he do? This is what I was just about to go.
What was it? What did he go down for?
I was.
Because I thought they were going to put it on the house.
No, but if it's
well, I want to make sure. I wanted to make before I even brought it up.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure it was nothing.
He was right.
It was nothing. I wanted to make sure like. Yeah, he ain't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the charges is. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so I'm not. I just want to stay. I want to stay here now. Like I'm not defending. I'm not defending for this brother quickly because I don't know what his. I don't know what his story is. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm just saying though. A year's a long time. You get what I'm trying to say? Like he looks like he's doing positive stuff. And he's trying to help and all that. It's just a really sad situation. You know what I'm trying to say? Again, I don't know how much longer he was supposed to do or what he was in jail for. I don't know if he's hurt anybody. I don't know if there's any victims of his crimes or any of these stuff. You get me? I'm not screaming free him or nothing like this. You get me? I just saw the situation. I just thought, no, that was sad. You get what I'm trying to say? And the system, they just got to be better, man. You can't be playing with people's liberties and people's freedom out here, man.
They took him back to jail for real?
He's gone back to prison.
He had his bag,
He had 2 bags.
What, that to back to jail?
Yes.
Well, you not luggage in jail?
No, but obviously,
No, but like,
basically, he's in it.
Yeah.
It looked like he was going like
No,
straight
he
or
didn't pack
something.
2
He was-
bags. I said, you can take your own clothes in there. I didn't know that. Oh, that's very sad.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Because really and truly, if he's been out for 13 months, I would have just thought the right... Because he's using his time outside to do positive and good.
Yeah, exactly.
They should just let him live,
That's
man.
the whole point of you're going to prison and then
It's to reform him, yeah.
Exactly.
change
And he's
your life.
reformed.
He's very reformed.
Let's just strike it off the list, man.
No,
Oh, that's horrible.
Huh?
It's not fair.
Why? On who?
It's not fair though.
On who?
On the victim.
If he's supposed to, on the victim, if he's supposed to do a certain amount of
That's
time,
true,
then he
yeah.
has to do the time.
It's meant to be punitive.
You know what I
as
mean?
well,
Sorry.
The victim is still going to be upset. The victim's still going to be upset when he comes out after anyway. Like
I think it's a plus for the victim though.
a plus.
Because he suffers more. Because he's
Yeah,
tasted
exactly.
freedom.
That's our thing.
Now he's gone back here.
Yeah,
It's like
13
going
months.
to fly business class, then you go back to
Listen.
13 months is a long time. I
Pain.
thought it was like they let him out on Monday and then Wednesday he went back. 13 months.
But also as well, his
Absolutely.
story is going to be even more interesting when
He can go give us
comes
speeches
out.
up in there.
What, in 5 years' time?
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
forget about him.
No.
There'll be
No,
other
no,
people.
but this is all part of, this is
Remember.
content for him.
Yeah.
This, he can add that to his TED Talks.
Let's
Yeah.
hope he's got-
Yeah, we
let's
don't know
hope
what
he's
his
got
sentence
cat
is.
D.
Imagine this saying he's got to go and finish the rest of his time. He's got
5
like another
years.
10
This
years
is what
and things.
I'm
Like,
saying. Exactly. Nah.
Would have moved right on.
No, they wouldn't make a mistake like that.
Yeah, I think
Surely
it's-
not.
it's peak
They do,
for the
you know. You
victims,
could never, who
like you
knows?
said.
Yeah.
It's peak for the victims.
Because also as well,
Because like, you know when...
Who clocked after 30
when
months?
Stormzy did that thing with Crazy Titch and all that, and then the person was complaining that
Yeah.
he's a murderer, why are you giving him airtime?
yikes.
Relax. That's a
It's all
different
crazy, yeah.
situation anyway. So.
Well, that's it. If someone knows what he did, I would like to know that.
Yeah,
I'm very interested in knowing what he did.
Yeah.
I would want to know. I would want to know what he done as well, to be totally honest with you. It is a
Yeah.
sad story, though. I mean, and regardless,
That's so annoying.
they've just got to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to
They
say?
dropped
Like,
the ball.
yeah, man, you can't be playing with
Yeah.
people's freedom like that, man.
Do you know the worst
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
He did an anniversary post of when he was released from prison.
No way.
Oh,
He said this day
1
last
year.
year I was released from prison on the 13th of May.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
He wanted the story. Oh no.
Oh, I'd be mad. He was good to turn himself in. I'll go on a run.
That's what I. That's
So
what
he's
I.
gonna, when he gets
You're not
caught,
gonna catch
he's gonna
me.
rack up the
No,
He's got like the New York Times wrote about him, you know.
The New York Times wrote about him.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no! Okay, I know what he did. It was drugs.
Yes.
No, basically, don't do that. Because basically, he's got a post on the same post.
If it's a minor.
Oh, what, is it just little drugs, yeah? Oh, free him, man. Free him, man. Come on, man.
So wait, so basically, on his page, where he's doing the anniversary,
Yeah.
he's got an article and the headline says he never denied selling drugs. Yeah, he was in the New York Times. Take your laughter back. He was in the New York Times. Okay, man. So basically, it says he never denied selling drugs, but Britain says he's a slave master too. And it says a law written to prevent human trafficking is being wielded against low-level drug.
He's
a low-level drug dealer.
Yeah, but he's probably in thinking kids.
They say this,
Young
but it's not
people,
really.
no,
They need to use these words
They're what,
properly.
kids?
They are traffickers.
Oh no, stop. He's got a sad story.
Kids have to work. You have to earn their money, man. He's helping.
He became a drug dealer
He's
at the
helping.
age of 14.
Because
And it says, when I was stabbed, I was forbidden from calling an ambulance. Obviously, he must have been scared. Obviously, he had the drugs on him and called an ambulance.
Oh, okay.
Go treat yourself. But there is a whole document. There was a whole thing on YouTube with his story and stuff.
Okay, I'll go watch that.
No, free him, man.
Yeah,
the system's
But I
not
need to
set
know
up for him.
why
I'm not.
why
capable
it's
for
linked to human
anyone.
trafficking sentence.
because he probably took some
Because,
kids to Kunj
yeah.
and they call it trafficking. But the real
If you go
trafficking
and go
people
county
outside.
lines,
But
isn't
he was
it?
14.
Huh? He was 14.
He was 14 when it started.
Yeah, so he probably promoted.
So he's a-
other,
He's like, yeah,
not
come
people-
do this
Yeah.
with me. Do you know what I mean?
But then don't they take that into account though? Because he's a victim as
he's
well
also
of that.
thing.
He's been groomed.
Because 14, you're not an adult.
Because he was groomed and he went on to groom other people.
And then you just tell your friends.
You know,
let's
some
do it.
people don't do that, you know?
What do you mean?
Don't do what?
Don't groom other people. They don't.
There's grooming.
It's
Grooming.
like
That's
just like bringing in your
Do you know what I mean?
that's a
It's
rubbish
like
word.
But some people
You
just
don't know
say
what you're talking
no.
about.
Do you
That's a
know what I
rubbish
mean?
word. It's not grooming. It's
That's not-
supporting the
And it's
kids.
not trafficking. I don't know about support.
All right.
I don't know about trafficking.
Cool,
Oh,
because
we're
you
doing
lot,
like
you
crazy.
lot,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
do
like
what the
this
public
is
do
like
and sit from the
bringing
outside
in
looking in
information.
No,
and talk
no,
shit about
no.
these man that are helping these kids. Yeah, they're all in the same boat.
Helping
Yeah,
them.
because you
That's why I said trafficking is
are
not the
working
word.
class people.
No.
You are doing big things. Them people over there are all in the same boat, and you working class people, yeah, ain't gonna help these kids. Ain't doing nothing for these kids at all. The man them around, yeah, we're all doing the wrong things. Put man on to make money. I'm putting these men on to make money. I'm helping them. And you are there with your nice job telling me about I'm grooming. I ain't grooming nothing. But what are you doing with your taxpayers' money? What are you doing for these kids? Nothing.
He was
What are you doing for these kids? Nothing.
talk saying that he should have done it. Did he not?
No, I'm with you.
Did he
wrong
did
words.
he
It's not
regret?
trafficking.
No, it's not
It's just
trafficking.
boys that.
No,
Yeah,
but grooming's the wrong term as
It's the
well,
wrong
because
term.
obviously...
I'm so sad about this guy's story.
You're still reading.
You've gone down the rabbit hole.
all this one is saying I'm body sitting. But like literally, he started his fitness thing 5 days after he came out of prison. You know, 5 days.
30
So
months
he really
later.
came out like wanting to be positive.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I don't know, man.
But I'll be honest, if they've got the human trafficking tag on it, that guy's not gonna be out
This is the thing.
for a while.
I want to know that piece because they just put these lines.
not
on
all
people.
I
Well,
do
yeah.
hope
I
that
got
he can.
help.
I'm thinking that he can
Yeah.
like do something with somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Just
Get out.
Like get Olivia Pope or something.
What's that guy? No, there's one
Let's
guy.
find out who
Big
the
Ego
victims
Media.
are.
He'll go and get him out or something.
The kids say
Because
he
this
was
is not. This is
helping.
actually unfair.
What happened to their lives?
Because if he hasn't been recalled in 13 months, like he's actually gone on to
Yeah, so what
do
about his
positive
probation
things.
worker and all of them things? So when you come out, so why
And this
did
is
they-
your fault. Like you lot did this. I didn't ask you to send me out.
I think they should.
Why
take
should I have to
the
suffer
L.
for what you guys did?
Take the L, man.
The system should take the L. Yeah,
So who's done out here?
the system.
The system, man. The system's done out here, man.
Sure.
Poor guy, man.
Free that man.
Free glow.
Helping the kids. Free that man. Helping
Free the kids. He was a
God.
kid.
Not free the kids.
All right, let's get into our yeah.
Right. You did not even try. Gosh. Anyways.
Do you remember? I bent it back into shape though. Remember it was bent. I straightened it. Fix that shit.
I actually could not do it. But thank you guys for tuning in, as you guys always do. And big up our lovely, beautiful guests who came as well. Thank you very much. We had very lovely conversations with you guys. And a few people in the chat, you know, what's it called? Inspired. And with you being a married woman and all, and being a boss babe, all the arguments have made enemies thrown a bit. So this is great. We appreciate you guys for dropping by. Really do. Follow us on our social media platforms. The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and the Clock app. If you have dilemmas to send in, the number is 07564841073. Pick up all the callers as well today. Pick up a girl, Veronica, and Kevin, and Dami. Is Dami or Demi?
Is it Demi? Daniel.
Daniel, that's it. And
Tariq.
And Tariq. Pick up Tariq. If you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Have a great Tuesday.
Before we go, what is it like navigating relationships when it is that you guys are so successful and have such aspirational desires and whatnot? Is it difficult?
No.
You're the one who's married, bro.
Not for me. I think, like Mars was saying earlier, just being intentional in picking your partner. So my fiance, he loves what I do and champions it. As you lot talk to him all the time. Like he's watches the New Black like every day, but he's very into like entrepreneurship and being able to, for me to do, because he sees that's where I'm happiest. So for him, do what makes you happy, but we still gotta make money. So. Until the wheels fall off, we're good. But yeah, no, he comes with me everywhere. If we've got a party, he's there. If he needs to drive us somewhere,
supportive man.
If he even works with us, like so, we need crew. Him and his boys will come down. He'll be driving a van for us, doing it. So he's there everywhere. We're like,
that's beautiful.
If I'm out and he's not there, everyone's just like, where is he? But so
just let them know he's a black man, please.
Yeah, he's black and he's Ghanaian. So
That's right.
So yeah,
Nigerian looking ass over there.
So yeah, he's very supportive. Doesn't
That's
care. But yeah,
beautiful.
like I said, you have to be intentional because there's some people that don't want that for their wives. But you couldn't marry me and expect me not to be as active as I
you
am.
are.
So yeah,
Equally yoked.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
Do men tend to be intimidated by your aspirations? The two young ladies who haven't spoken yet.
Oh God. I don't even know how to even begin that. Do they tend to be intimidated? Yes. Okay, yeah, they do. But like, I can't say that I care about what they think. So that's where
daily I hear things like, "Oh, you're outside again. You need to sit down. You're a woman. Oh, you're still outside again. Wow. Did you cook?" So it's just like it's boring. But at the end of the day, do you pay these bills?
And they don't.
You know.
So that's
you have to do what makes you happy. And honestly, I feel like I'm in what we do, what we work on actually makes me happy. So
that's beautiful.
If you're not with it, then see ya.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, for real. See ya. Bye.
Bye.